Good evening, Bellflower. The regular meeting of the Bellflower City Council is called to order on Monday, April 27, 2026 at 7 p.m. There was no closed session this evening, so we're going to proceed with the open session. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Coops?
Here.
Councilmember Morse?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez?
Here.
Councilmember Dutton?
Here.
Mayor Santinez?
Here. Tonight's invocation will be led by Councilmember Dan Coops, and the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Len Gorecki, our Assistant City Manager and Director of Public Works. Please rise.
Let's bow for a word of prayer. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening hour to give you thanks for all the blessings you've bestowed on us as a community and all of us here individually. Be with us as we deliberate the items in front of us. Make sure that we do the right thing for the city of Bellflower as we consider what is best. Be with those that would be our protectors, both on a national scene and international. We appreciate all the work that is done in that behalf. In his name we pray, amen.
Amen.
Place your right hand over your heart, address the flag, and repeat after me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Dan, and thank you, Len. City Council announcement, let me start. The City of Bellflower invites the community and their four-legged companions to celebrate the ribbon cutting of a new dog park, the Bark Spot, on Friday, May 1st at 3:30 p.m. at Carruthers Park, located at 10500 Flora Vista Street. The Bark Spot, that's a new name, will serve as a safe and inclusive space that promotes responsible pet ownership, connection, and active recreation. The new park expands access to off-leash recreation and offers another convenient option for residents to enjoy with their dogs close to home. Residents are encouraged to bring their dogs and be among the first to explore this exciting addition to Carruthers Park. Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Bellflower. Enjoy an afternoon with the Bellflower Civic Chorus this Saturday, May 2nd, and Sunday, May 3rd. This year, the Bellflower Civic Chorus presents Keep a Song in Your Heart, a tribute to singers and songwriters, performed by a mixed voice chorus of singers and musicians, lovers. This concert will take place at 2:30 p.m. at the William and Jane Bristol Civic Auditorium, located at 16600 Civic Center Drive. Tickets for the event will be $10. For more information, please call 562-761-6347 or visit bellflowercivicchorus.org. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Victor. Councilman Wendy Morse.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Bellflower. Do you have documents you need to dispose of securely? Bellflower's Day of the Shred returns to Thompson Park, located at 14001 Bellflower Boulevard, on Saturday, May 16th from 8 to 11 a.m. A shredding truck will be on site to provide free document shredding for Bellflower residents. Each household may bring up to 5 boxes or bags of paper. The accepted materials include personal documents, paper, file folders, staples, rubber bands, and small binder clips. Please do not bring phone books, hardcover books, plastics, metals, CDs, trash, or hazardous materials. This service is available on a first-come, first-served basis until the truck reaches capacity. Empty boxes or bags must be taken home. For more information, please call 562-866-8614. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Wendy. Councilmember Ray Dunton.
Thank you, Mayor. Bellflower residents are invited to safely dispose of old electronics at the upcoming e-waste recycling event on May 9th and 10th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Bellflower Middle and High Schools located at 15301 McNabb Avenue. The event provides a convenient opportunity to recycle electronics that have reached their end of their useful life. Whether they are working or not, we'll take them. Accepted items include computers, monitors, televisions, printers, laptops, home entertainment systems, phones, and more. but fluorescent light bulbs and household batteries will not be accepted. Please note that major appliances such as refrigerators and microwaves will incur a service charge. Properly disposing of used electronic waste helps reduce the toxic materials in landfills. Recycling also allows valuable materials such as the metals, plastics, and glass to be recovered and reused, reducing the need for new resource extraction. For more information, please call 562-804-6545. That's all I got, Mayor.
Thank you, Ray. Councilmember Dan Coops.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Clifton M. Brackensick Library, located at 9945 Flower Street, invites Bellflower residents of all ages to join them for their in-person programs. These events are free, open to the public, and offer great opportunities to learn and connect. On Wednesday, May 6th, from 4 to 5 p.m. in the afternoon, the library will be hosting Children's STEM program, Bee Hotels, where kids ages 5 through 12, along with a caregiver, are invited to dive into the lives of mason bees and learn how to build their own backyard bee garden. For residents 18 and over, the library will be hosting a screening of the film Life with Pi in celebration of Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month on May 16th at 2 p.m. We encourage everyone to take advantage of this and explore the possibilities and of these and take advantage of the ceremony community resources. To view the full calendar of events and register, you go to visit lacountylibrary.org/events. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Dan. Next item, we have the presentation on public safety and sheriff's update. Mr. Smooth.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I believe Captain Holguin is here, and I'm going to have Brian join him. I believe they're going to tag team this presentation for you.
Good evening, Captain. Brian?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. This evening, myself and Captain Holguin from Lakewood Station have a quick public safety update, which we wanted to give to the community and to the council here. So we'll start first with Captain Holguin, and then we'll finish it off with my update. So without further ado, Captain Holguin.
Okay. All right, Captain.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mayor Santa Ynez and fellow council members for having me here tonight. On behalf of the Los Angeles County Sheriff Department and the deputies and professional staff, proudly serving the city of Bellflower, I'm pleased to have this opportunity to provide the public safety report. So our first slide depicts our Uniform Crime Reporting, our UCR program, which collects crime data of reported violent and property crimes in the nation, which are classified as Part 1 crimes. These include violent crimes consisting of homicide, rape, robbery, aggravated assaults, along with property crimes to include burglary, grand theft auto, theft, and arson. The first two columns show the Part 1 crimes in 2024 compared to 2025, and the third column will provide the increase or decrease percentages. So our first crime is our criminal homicides. Our homicides had a decrease of 60%. We had 5 in 2024 and 2 last year. One of these have been solved, and the other homicide is currently investigating the second one. Next, we have our rapes. Our rapes had an increase of 44%, from 18 to 26. In 24 of the 26 incidents, the victim knew or were in a dating relationship with the suspect. And in 2 incidents, the suspect was unknown. Also, we had 3 incidents that occurred several years ago. However, they weren't reported until 2025. Our robberies had a decrease of 15%. We had a total of 99 compared to 117 the previous year. Of the 99 robberies, 51 were strong arm robberies and 48 where there was a weapon or simulated weapon used. Although overall there has been a decrease, we have seen an increase in retail commercial robberies. These will include where the crime started as a petty theft or grand theft. However, as the suspect attempted to leave the retail location, the suspect used force or fear towards the employee, which elevated the theft to a robbery. Next, we have our aggravated assaults. We had a decrease of 1%. about 1%, from 310 to 307. Most of these assaults, 122 or 40%, were domestic violence related. And also, aggravated assaults are counted per victim and not per incident. There were several incidents where several victims were identified in one incident. An example would be if you had one suspect pointing a firearm of 4 people standing at a bus stop. This would be documented as 4 separate aggravated assaults, although it was one incident. Our burglaries also had a decrease of 15%, from 256 to 217. 141 were classified as commercial burglaries, and 76 were classified as residential burglaries. Our larceny thefts increased by 8%. We had 800 compared to 739 the previous year. And these crimes included 240 grand thefts, 210 petty thefts, 347 thefts from vehicles, inside vehicles, and theft of auto parts. And those are auto parts such as the tailgates and the catalytic converters. Our auto theft, grand theft auto, we had a significant decrease of 32%. We had 608 in 2024 compared to 412 2025. Our arson, we had 50% decrease from 12 to 6. Overall, we had a decrease of 9.49% in all port warrant crimes. I'm also happy to announce that in the first 4 months of 2026, we continue to see this declining trend. As of today, we have a significant decrease of 28% in all Part 1 crimes for the first 4 months. With that being said, I know most of the complaints we receive from residents are not because of Part 1 crimes, but because of quality of life issues. Our team will balance their time and address the issues of homelessness outreach, graffiti, party calls, and traffic enforcement. Our next slide is going to be our response times. Our calls for service are categorized between 3 incidents: emergent, priority, and routine. Emergent incidents are anything requiring a Code 3 response. These would be felony crimes in progress, life-threatening incidents, and traffic collisions with injuries. Priority incidents are those that require an immediate response but not a Code 3 response. And then our routine incidents are called that are of non-priority in nature, usually a report call, that do not require an immediate response. In 2025, our average response times in emergent calls was 3.8 minutes. Priority calls had an average response of 12.8 minutes, and routine calls had an average response time of 61.8 minutes. All responses were below the department average, but there was a slight increase in response times compared to last year, specifically in the routine calls. We did identify 2 reasons found to increase these responses. And the first one was more complex criminal investigations, and the second one is a decrease in our online reporting procedures. We saw that in 2025, complex or time-consuming investigation calls increased. Crimes such as suspected child abuse or suspected elder abuse, specifically financial elder abuse, are crimes that can take several hours to properly investigate. In 2025, we had 800 suspected elder abuse calls, which was an increase of 39% compared to previous years. Ultimately, the increase in the investigations did affect our patrol deputies' response to additional routine calls. We also saw a decrease in our residents using our SORTS program, which is our Sheriff Online Reporting Tracking System, where our residents can file specific criminal reports online. Our residents have been using the virtual deputy, but a more routine and continued use of the program could significantly decrease our response times. So in 2026, our team will be implementing and promoting programs that will provide better service to our residents, specifically targeting on response times. We will conduct a more robust campaign in promoting our online crime reporting, such as SORTS and Virtual Deputy, which provides our residents with a convenient way of documenting crimes. In turn, this will keep our deputies on the streets, readily available to quickly assist and respond to emergencies. Our goal is for every resident of Bellflower to have knowledge of the online reporting system and that it's available to them. Our pilot program of the Field Arrest Support and Transport Deputy, which we call our FAST Deputy, which was designed to transport and book prisoners who were arrested by city field personnel, was very successful. Those booking processes can be time-consuming, The use of the fast deputy allowed our patrol deputies to remain in the field and to continue to prevent crime and be available for any emergent response. During the use of our fast deputy in our city, our crime and response time declined. We had a pilot program for 120 days, and those declined both the response times and our crime statistics. So based on this success, the fast deputy program will return to our city starting May 3rd. Next week, it'll come back. We are also working with our Carfax to streamline traffic collisions response with their driver exchange program. This will assist with digital information exchanges, enhance officer safety, and provide our residents with quick access to insurance claim information. By allowing flexible data collection, real-time investigation, intel, and community self-reporting, it enables our team to manage incidents efficiently and clear crash sites faster. We'll continue to leverage technology to modernize our department and to provide our residents with the best service as possible. As you can see, we had a successful year in crime reduction. When we talk about public safety, it is often seen as the responsibility of the sheriff department or the city officials. While we both play a vital role, true public safety cannot be achieved by us alone. It depends on the active participation of the community itself. When our residents are involved, safety becomes a shared responsibility. Strong communities naturally discourage crime through positive social connections, shared values, and mutual accountability. In 2025, our residents played a significant role in our success. We are truly blessed to have the support of both the City Council and our residents. In closing, I want to express my sincere appreciation to the City Council, City Manager, the City staff, and every member of the Bellflower community. Thank you, and God bless everyone.
Thank you, Captain. Brian?
Now, part two of the presentation. Kind of a quick general overview of public safety department updates on the city side, as Captain Holguin just kind of went over the LASD side of the updates. But for those of you that can remember, back in January 2025, I conducted a public safety assessment before this council, and from that assessment came multiple action items, and here's a quick list of items which have already been accomplished in the last year and a half. So we did rehire the public safety manager position. We did reprioritize code enforcement efforts to focus more on blighted and illegally operating businesses. The graffiti tracker, which was what was talked about in the assessment, sort of morphed into what we now call the My Bellflower app, and I by no means take any credit for that. I get to give all that to Parks and Rec and Sergio in our IT department, but the central idea sort of came from the public safety assessment. We also have, as Captain Holguin alluded to, the increased use of technology, which we'll go into here in a couple extra slides, and also our dedicated homeless response team, which we'll also get into here momentarily. So looking first at our use of technology, this city council approved the use of ShotSpotter gunshot detection sensors. And this went live here in Bellflower in November of 2025. The system uses acoustic sensors to pick up on what it believes through a algorithm are detected gunshots in the community, and it will alert deputies and also the dispatch center at Lakewood Station of the incident which occurs. Our coverage area for this specific technology is 2 square miles, which covers most of the southwestern portion of the city. I remember when the ShotSpotter folks came and did their presentation to council, I believe they gave a percentage breakdown of roughly 80% of shooting calls don't get called in and 20% do. I didn't believe it, to be quite honest with you. But as you can see, our percentage breakdown is actually somewhat holding true to that. To date, we've had a total of, I wrote down here, we've had 23 positive alerts through the ShotSpotter system. And of that, only 27% of those had corresponding 911 phone calls where someone actually called in, shots fired call. And the remaining had no calls whatsoever. So that breaks down to 6 had a 911 phone call, 17 did not. And one area which I would like to point out is when this alert goes off, I included a nice little screenshot there off to the side. That is what the system looks like when the deputies get the alerts on their phone or when the Lakewood Station dispatch gets an alert. That's what it looks like. That is a real alert that came on that we screenshotted. And in this specific instance, that was one gunshot that was heard. And what the system will do is it places a bubble around that. And it goes to a maximum distance of 85 feet. And believe it or not, it's very accurate. We've had deputies, and this is sort of the quick anecdotal story I'll give, not to belabor this too much, but one of the very first activations we had with ShotSpotter when this first went live, we had an alert at the intersection of Eucalyptus and Flora Vista, right by the city yard. And it was multiple gunshots which were heard. Someone did happen to call 911 in relation to that incident. And when that person called 911, they said that they heard the shots coming from Alondra Boulevard and Eucalyptus. Now, still somewhat close in range, but when deputies got there, they followed the ShotSpotter alert, and it directed them right towards the intersection of again, Flora Vista and Eucalyptus, and that is exactly where they found the shell casings. So if it wasn't for this system, it wasn't for this technology, the deputies would have responded to a whole other intersection where, in fact, there was nothing going on. People sometimes mishear things, they misplace where they believe the incident is occurring, and this is one way to get a very unbiased view of where incidents are actually occurring. To date, there have not been any direct arrests related just from a ShotSpotter alert in and of itself, but it has directed deputies towards locations where there were shots fired. And from that perspective, it has provided our detectives with just immeasurable evidence which they can use for these type of situations. There have been instances where individuals unfortunately have been shot, and our detectives were able to utilize this system to pinpoint better locations where the rounds might have fallen, the shell casings for evidence gathering, and to be able to formulate a better package when they present these cases in court. Our next technology system which this council has approved was our use of the Plate Ranger system, also by the same company who offers the ShotSpotter system called SoundThinking. We went live with that system in December 2025. We got a total of 40 license plate reading cameras from SoundThinking, and currently numerous stolen vehicles have been identified, numerous wanted vehicles have been identified, which our deputies have taken action on. And right now it is basically serving a instrumental role for our specifically our SAO team and our detectives to identify suspects wanted for committing crimes. And again, somewhat of another anecdotal little story where this actually has proven to be successful is not only are we capturing individuals associated in Bellflower that are committing crimes, but also people from other cities, because they tend to navigate through other cities, including us. One such incident occurred about 2 weeks ago. The city of Lakewood had an assault with a deadly weapon call, and the suspect drove off. The deputies got into a pursuit of that vehicle, it entered the 91 freeway, and they lost sight of the car. But they happened to get the license plate number. So our deputies, what they did was they plugged that license plate number into our Plate Ranger system and were able to determine that he did not, in fact, continue on the 91 freeway. It actually exited the freeway in Bellflower, and they were able to follow that vehicle and able to get to find the vehicle actually in neighboring Paramount and successfully arrested that person. But again, that's what this technology is used for, is just information gathering for the deputies to make their resources better and put them in better positions to find individuals associated with crimes. And my last point on that is it makes almost all cases now, I wouldn't say all of them, but a very vast majority are now workable cases for our detectives. If someone comes with a partial plate, a year ago we could do almost nothing with that, with a partial license plate on a crime. Now, through the searchable features of this system, you can backtrack a lot of information and be able to find a lot of things out. So a lot of cases now are becoming very much workable cases for our deputies and for our detectives. So also coming from our public safety assessment was a dedicated homeless enforcement team. And the reason for that this was a priority is quality of life concerns surrounding homelessness still remains one of the top priorities for Bellflower and for this community. And we are aware of that, and we have tried multiple ways and solutions to sort of stem the tide of our enforcement and balancing that with resource allocation and getting individual assistance, whether through shelter or other means. But the BEAST team, which was established, which again stands for the Bellflower Enforcement and Safety Team, we deployed that team in December of 2025, and at this point has been one of the more successful programs which we have provided through public safety. The team is a dedicated team comprised of both public safety personnel, our public works teams, our Southwest Patrol, and also our LASD staff. This team goes out 5 days a week, and their sole and only goal is to go to areas which have been historically prone for encampments, and they offer assistance when assistance is taken, but most notably it's the enforcement and it's the cleanup. And that is happening now 5 days a week, every single week, 365 days, all the way through 52 weeks of the year. And what's different between what this team is doing now and what we were doing, say, a year ago or 2 years ago, it's the steadiness of it. It's the everydayness of it, if that's even a word. It's the pressure we are keeping on individuals that our public properties are not going to be overtaken and be used for people who are doing illegal activities. And that is what we have set as a standard here. And for the first 4-ish months it's been in existence, has been extremely successful so far. As of today, they've responded to 178 service requests, which have come through the My Bellflower app. They have successfully connected 17 individuals with assistance, whether that's through our own shelter if they qualified, but a majority of these individuals unfortunately do not qualify for our shelter, and we have been able to connect them with resources through LASA and PATH and get them the help that they are needed, and which oftentimes takes place outside of Bellflower. And also to date, we have issued 45 criminal citations for various municipal code violations, generally including unlawful camping on public property. And I'll share here very quickly, if I can get this to work, a video. Bellflower Enforcement and Safety Team is comprised of one public safety officer assigned to the team. It has 2 maintenance workers from our Public Works Department and 2 SAO deputies from our SAO team. The goal of the base team is to ensure our homeless individuals in town are being connected with resources, and while also ensuring that the laws of the state of California and the city are enforced when out in the field. The base team strategy is going to be to outreach services to the homeless and connect them with resource providers such as PATH, LASA, and Kingdom Causes. During community outreach patrols, the team will connect those who are willing to accept services to outreach providers who best meet their needs. Outreach providers will also ride along with the BEAST team during targeted enforcement efforts to provide directed level assistance to community members experiencing homelessness.
It makes me feel like we've accomplished something, trying to go out there and help the community. The city has worked extensively to combat homelessness in the community for many years. In 2020, Bellflower established the New Hope Temporary Shelter, which is a 50-person facility designed to transition individuals from living on the street to helping them with permanent housing. The BEAST team will focus its attention on proactive patrols and inspections of encampment areas. The key here is to be proactive in connecting with those individuals that are seeking help. The BEAST team will connect with individuals with housing, substance abuse, and mental health resources provided by our regional partners at PATH, LASA, and Kingdom Causes. Addressing homelessness involves getting those seeking assistance into service programs. Enforcement of unlawful camping or drug usage will not solve the problem overall. Working with outreach providers allows for a full circle of services that are offered. Those who refuse services will be subject to enforcement. Before leaving any location, the BEAST team will conduct a cleanup, removing any property and or trash which is not removed by its occupants. My thought process is just to make contact, get to know them, and let them know that I'm here to try to offer services instead of just them thinking that we're just shooing them away or making them go somewhere else. The goal is just to help them, have somewhere to connect to, and see where those programs lead them to. The fulfilling part of it would be to actually see somebody going from being in a situation where they're living in the street to somewhere knowing that
So all the credit for the Beast team goes to Danny, who you saw there, and also James and Abraham from the Public Works Department, who are out there every single day doing this 5 days a week. So all credit goes to them for the good work that they're doing. I just wanted to show some of these pictures. This was the norm for us, a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. This is what we dealt with every single day on a lot of the Caltrans, Metro, flood control properties. This was how it was. A lot of our public spaces were being utilized for these unlawful purposes. And what I'm about to show you next is how these look now. There's almost no one that the Beast team is now encountering in some of these areas, which again highlights the success which the program has had about just maintaining our visibility and our proactiveness when we're out there dealing with these, which can be sometimes very difficult issues to solve. I wanted to just highlight this very briefly. I know Captain Holguin went over the 2025 stats and made a comment regarding the 2026 stats, where we are so far. I presented something very similar to this to my Public Safety Commission last month in March. And one of the questions that I was asked was, what do we feel, or what do I feel is contributing to some of our constantly dropping numbers when it comes to Part 1 crimes? And to be honest with you, I don't have a direct specific answer for one specific cause that's doing this, but I think if you take in totality everything that's been going on that this council has approved, some of the weird ideas that come from me and you guys generously go with, I think if you take all of that, you take Southwest Patrol, a certain percentage of that, you take the Shot Spotter, you take the Plate Ranger systems, you take code enforcement, you take the Beast team, you couple all of that together, and to a certain degree, you chip away at some of this crime. And right now, I think we should all be not happy with where we are, but we should be proud with the success that we've had this early on with what the programs are that we're doing. And again, highlighting here on the screen, we get weekly numbers from the Sheriff's Department, but this one is as of earlier this month, so it doesn't quite match up to the number that Captain Holguin gave, which is actually positive because you say we're 28%, so we're going down even further. So you can see that in the 5-year change of crime, Part 1 crimes, that's going from April of 2021, comparing it to April 2026. Bellflower down 20%, and you can see where the other cities are. Artesia beat us out on that one, but the other two cities are up higher, and Paramount's kind of pretty much right there with us. However, in the 1-year change, which goes from April 6th of 2026, comparing it to 1 year ago to 2025, we're showing a 24%, which now, as Captain Holguin said, we're now at 28% as we move closer to today's date, and we're doing quite well in that realm. All the numbers are trending in a very good direction, and I think we can all, for the moment, can say we're heading in the right direction, but by no means is the mission over or anything of that sort. And I'll conclude this with, these are the upcoming items which we have going for public safety. The council here, you approved for my department to have a 5th code enforcement inspector. So we'll be having recruitment for that to bring in one more person on board, hopefully starting in July sometime. We have our citywide security camera project, which is currently out for an RFP process as we speak. We have our hazard mitigation plan update. We've been working with our consultant since, I think since August of last year, and we currently have a draft of that plan in hand, and it's currently out for public review and input. I'll deal with the next one here. Kingdom Causes Outreach Services. Special attention to that one. Look for an item to be coming back to you to the council very shortly. Despite the success that the Beast team has had in what they've done already, we've identified a gap with what they do, and they're a little bit lacking in actual outreach services. Our scope and knowledge of doing that is somewhat limited. We're by no means experts on providing someone with full outreach services of what the number of homeless services are that are out there for individuals to take account for. So we've been working with Kingdom Causes to see if they would be interested in coming on board with offering a complimentary service to what the Beast team is doing. And so we're currently going through that motions right now of an agreement process. So very shortly, probably even the next meeting, something will be coming before the council to consider an agreement with Kingdom Causes to shore up some of that, as well as a couple of other items which they would be taking on as well. So we wanted to put that in there to make sure everyone's aware that's coming at some point. And then our very last item, of course, is the construction of a new public safety center. For those of you that don't know, the current substation will be celebrating 30 years in that building next month. So it's been a while. We are currently working with Len Public Works to get a RFP out for the design and construction of a new facility. And I will say my team, even the deputies are here, are very, very excited for when that may come to fruition one of these days. I think the community will be very happy and glad to see that, and so will the personnel that work there. So with that, that'll conclude my update, and myself and Captain Holguin are ready and able to answer any questions should there be any.
All right, thank you, Brian. Thank you, Captain, for the good presentation. I would say overall that the crime has gone down significantly. I think that's good news. But one crime is one crime too many, especially if you're the victim. So I think our goal is to really bring it down. But I commend you for what you have done so far. I think let's work on it. And I just have a couple of questions or clarifications. Captain, when you said about it's a partnership between the city and the Sheriff's Department and the community, to you and to Brian, how is our Neighborhood Watch program working?
It is working as best as it can be, given the circumstances of Neighborhood Watch. And by that I mean how we all traditionally view Neighborhood Watch as we all get together with people in their driveways and we have conversations. That method is slowly dying. And I think that's just the way that our society is. No one really wants to get out and converse with their neighbors much anymore. We don't see that as being something that people want from us anymore. So we're actively thinking of ways of I don't want to say re-envisioning what Neighborhood Watch is, but seeing what the community wants and how we can somewhat mesh our ideas with that. Now, don't get me wrong, there are certain groups and certain neighborhoods that still want that personal touch, but from where we were 10 years ago when I was still here, it's completely different. The framework of it has completely changed. People that were very active in the Bellflower community with Neighborhood Watch no longer live here. So it's really taken a step off, as I would say. So we're actively pursuing ways to kind of what the re-envision, what the new way would look like.
So in that regard, can we kind of rethink about the process, rethink about kind of re-engineer it? Because just like what you said, people don't talk to their neighbors anymore, but there's always social media. Mm-hmm. So can we do something like a kind of a pilot project and invite residents to kind of talk about it? Because I'm sure that we have active social media sites here, and I'm sure that if we come up with some idea to make it more of a within a certain sector of the city, they might be more willing to share information. So I would like to invite to kind of think about it, and maybe we can do a pilot project and see what kind of feedback we get from our residents.
Absolutely. I think even putting a poll out for people to see
exactly.
what they want from us. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I agree with you. Yes.
Okay. And then, Captain, I know that 2 years ago, I think 2 or 3 years ago, when we did our budget, we put in 3 additional sheriff's deputy, and those were not filled. So in terms of hiring, how is the Sheriff's Department doing with hiring?
So the Sheriff's Department, we're doing very great with hiring. Our Sheriff, Robert Luna, invested with a marketing company that we're getting numerous applicants coming to the website and applying. Just know that, out of everyone that applies, only 3% make it. So standards are high. We want them to be high.
So we haven't compromised on the standards?
Not at all, not at all. So we have a lot of classes. I've been going to at least once every 6 weeks. I'm going to a graduation. So I'm excited about that. Our station had 18 trainees that are going to come out to our cities in the next couple months. Lakewood is looking good. Obviously, there's still a moratorium, but the more people we have, we can expand other type of saturation patrol units to assist in the city. So we are looking pretty good.
because my understanding is the moratorium is you will not give the cities new additional deputies. You only replace them if someone leaves, someone retires, and basically 1-for-1, but no additional staffing.
No additional staffing.
So, but my question to you is, at what point do you see that if cities are asking for new additional deputies, when can they get it?
Probably within the next, probably before the end of the year. Now when we say no, the moratorium, it's not going to be, you can't expand your 575 contract.
Correct.
Right? But if we have an issue with, like we was talking to some of the residents, a party call, right? A party deputy that works Friday to Saturday, and it's supplemented through overtime, that's something we can address. We can add those additional deputies specifically for that overtime positions.
Okay. Is there anything else we can do to address our quality of life issues? Because as you admitted earlier, they're kind of low priority. Okay. Crimes are being, the emergent calls are being addressed right away, but not the other way around.
Correct.
The
No, I think
quality of life calls.
correct. Yeah, I think it's just like getting the residents involved, specifically regarding the neighborhood watch blocks. We're going to do everything we can this year to make sure we're out there talking to everyone. We had our coffee with the captain last week. We talked to a lot of the residents, and I think maybe we can have a town hall meeting while there, and I can answer, see what the community wants, their service, and what they want to attack. What should we attack? That way we can help better, provide better service. So it's just doing outreach with the community, having them volunteer, whether it be a volunteer or patrol, anything that helps. Extra eyes will help tremendously with our quality of life issues.
Just for the benefit of our residents, last Thursday, captain and the lieutenant, the sergeant, hosted a coffee with a cop or coffee with the deputy, and I think it was a good turnout. But I wish there'll be more people going to the coffee shop. That it was held at Soulmate on Flower Street. It was good attendance, but it could be better. Couldn't better. So let us know if there's another one coming up, so we can publicize it more, because we need more residents to come to these meetings. The other question I have here is on the. By the way, Brian, there's no weird idea, just novel ideas. Okay, please come up with these weird ideas. Okay. So 30 years we've been on the sheriff substation.
At the Bellflower Boulevard location, yes.
Okay, we need to do something about that. Are there any more new ideas we have for technology? Because I understand that there's lack of manpower, or there's not sufficient manpower, so we need to kind of supplement that with technology. Are there other technologies out there that we can look into to help us in preventing crimes, solving crimes, identifying crimes?
I mean, two things, and the one, Captain, let me know if you wanted to speak on it at all. But at the sheriff's conference a couple months ago, one big thing that was talked about within the sheriff's department as a whole are drones, and see where that could fit into law enforcement and drone as a first responder type programs. So I believe the sheriff's department is actively looking into utilizing that type of technology, not just within one city, but across the entire county, to see what that may have. I don't know if Captain has any other information on that.
Yes, the drone program is what we really want to promote. Our drone policy right now was very restrictive. It was only for high risk, extremely high risk situations or search conditions. That policy is being updated. It should be approved by the end of June, and it's gonna be used just the way we want to use it is first responders. So we're gonna have a drone set up. We're going to have a call for service, and that's going to automatically fly to that area and give us eyes on the location before a deputy even gets there. And we can get real-time information, and we will have a real-time command center also. That is our goal. We'll be presenting to all the cities probably in the next month on what we would like to see, even before the policy comes out, because we know that when the policy comes out, it's going to be very beneficial to us, that we can use it just for regular patrol and first responding.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I may jump in
go
on
ahead.
that
Go
real
ahead.
quick. Captain, I believe the city of Artesia is already piloting it. Isn't that correct?
I think every city is gonna get in. They're gonna have their own pilots. They're already they're having the deputies get their license to fly these drones. So they are doing that already, but they haven't had the drone yet.
Okay.
We're waiting for it.
I think Riverside, I think they used that for fireworks last year.
Yes.
So it's out there already.
Yes.
So. All right. Okay, that's all I have for now. Any question for the captain or Brian? Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, a couple questions. I'll start off with a couple compliments. First off, want to say thank you for conducting a traffic enforcement. I think that's one of the quality of life issues and concerns that we get pretty frequently. And I think we have a deputy now that's kind of working on that. So for you guys to continue down that path, can you share with us how many traffic violations were issued in a course of whatever the pilot was?
Yeah, sorry, Member Sanchez. I don't have those numbers right now.
The sergeant knows.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
146.
Sergeant, can you come up? Can you come up to the podium?
Sorry, Sergeant, I put you on the spot.
Oh, he's always ready.
But
He's
finally
always
you get
ready.
him
He's
out
always
here to
ready.
do something.
So the traffic operation resulted in 146 like moving violations and another 47, I believe, parking violations, which were all directed at school zone stuff that was causing a lot of backup and dangerous situations for the kids during drop off.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to highlight that because that's one of the one positions that we obviously were trying to fill with those three deputies that we budgeted for. So obviously this is a workaround, but I think it's a good workaround because realistically we get a lot of complaints regarding traffic. So I appreciate the efforts there and continue the good work. The mayor touched on, partnering on communication and getting more information out. So however we can partner, we have a great team in Trepepi Smith and obviously we have someone dedicated for marketing now. So please make sure you're communicating with them. That's over in the Parks and Rec department with, the other thing I wanted to say is with regards to the Part 1 crime, I know our public safety director touched on kind of why he believes Part 1 crime is kind of down, but can you give us your opinion and your perspective as from a sheriff's perspective and someone who's overseeing multiple cities?
Yeah, I totally agree with Brian. It is the resources that the city council has provided to us and provided to the residents regarding the beast, regarding the technology. We do have, like I said, these new trainees that are coming out that are very proactive. They're community-based policing that they're doing. So I think it's just the totality of everything being implemented is helping. And again, this city obviously is leading in crime reductions because you guys provide most of the resources than the other cities.
Thank you, Captain. I do have a question. You guys talked about drone already, so I won't talk about that. But regarding the robberies solved, I noticed there was no data on that. I'd be curious in the future to know more about how much is actually, how many cases are being solved, because I think that's one of the things, right, that's important to, at least what sometimes I hear complaints about is that they report stuff and then nothing happens. I think that obviously every case is different. Obviously there's information or not, information and investigations. So just if you can bring that back to us in the future, be good information to share. Virtual deputy, I think that's a great idea, by the way, because obviously there's things that are minor that could be resolved in 5-10 minutes, and just it's really more about filing a report. And then lastly for you, Sheriff, I'm still on the idea that, we got to find ways for our public safety enforcement folks to be able to issue more of those risky, or what are those called? Those urgent calls where someone's in danger, more like emergent calls. Yeah. So our deputies should be able to write those reports. The ones that we need for insurance claims. Things of that nature. We got to work on that. Tell the Sheriff Luna to get that taken care of. And then the next questions are for Deputy or for Director McNerney. The shot spotters. It's crazy to see that there's been 23 already incidents. And thank you for sharing how that information is kind of playing out. So thank you for that. Good to see. Do we anticipate increasing that radius of 2.2, or do you think we're in a good place?
I mean, it really comes down to a cost and a need question. I will say if there's a need, of course, that would justify the cost. At this very moment, I'm not aware that there is a plethora of shootings in other specific areas in town. Now, that could all change tomorrow. But I would say at the moment, we're not considering expanding it. But again, it's easy to expand if we need to.
It's terrifying to know that it's only happening in our blocks. But I'm glad that
But
we're
we
doing
have a
something
solution
about
there.
it.
We have
Yeah,
a
I'm glad we're
solution.
doing something about it.
You're spending money in our town.
Yeah, that's right, exactly. I want to highlight something. The Plate Ranger, for the purposes of the audience, we obviously had a very lively discussion when we entertained bringing on Plate Rangers, and that was something that we all up here really wanted to expand on. So I want to just kind of highlight that we do not share this data with anyone. That is this data that's used only here amongst our public safety personnel. It does not leave our departments.
That is correct.
And yeah, I
Yes.
just thank you. I know the answer to that, but I just want the audience to know that it is used for local use only. And then congrats on the Beast team. Honestly, we're getting a lot of good feedback on that. So I think it's working out, and I think the addition of adding KCB and the outreach service that they bring to the table, the mental health expertise that they bring to the table, I think is going to be key for its long-term success. Because I think your officers are spot on. Let's get them the help they need. Let's get them into a place where they can stand on their own 2 feet. And then lastly, my next comment I think would be more for Jim De La Longa, so not your department, but I saw PATH up there, and PATH has funding available for assistance, for rental assistance or rental home assistance funds available. They just got awarded an additional $2.7 million, and these could be funds that we can also use for some of our residents. So if we can connect with them to make sure that that's happening.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, that's it, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Mayor,
Thank you.
Mayor Emeritus Dunton.
Thank you. I got Captain, you gave me some encouragement there when you mentioned that there may be some deputies freed up by the end of the year. And it got my attention. It got me thinking or whatever. It's kind of been a long road. I think over 3 years ago, we programmed $2 million for deputies, and after a year into it, we weren't going to get them, we found out. So we reprogrammed that money for our Southwest Security Patrol and other things. But last I heard, we were, and get me if I'm wrong, because this has been in my head for, it's work in progress in the downside of the sheriff department for the last 3 years of cutbacks and morale and all that. But at one time, I thought we were short like 1,500 deputies. Could that be?
I think we're at 1,200 now. But
So
yes,
at
yeah.
one point we
Yeah,
were. So
yeah.
we're going in the right direction.
That is correct.
And that's short because the county supervisors have a moratorium that no more hiring deputies, right?
No.
No?
We are hiring. We have.
But it's because these are no extra. These are deputies that we have holes to plug that we had attrition and they didn't get filled.
That's
That's why we need 1,200.
That is correct.
So we're 1,200 less than we were 3 or 4 years ago, or since COVID, or
right. That is
whatever,
correct.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
and we do have
and
money
we're
to
having
hire
the
'em.
struggle of getting there because technically not a lot of people want to be a cop because what society's done to law enforcement is my opinion. That's my opinion, by the way.
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
But we also have a lot of
Everybody doesn't
agencies.
love a cop, I guess. I don't know.
We have a lot of agencies
I love
that
them.
we're competing with
Yeah.
too. So
Right, other states. I've seen the commercials, hear it on the radio that other states and cities, big cities, are, everybody's dangling the carrot to try to steal everybody's law enforcement. But we have 1,200 slots to fill, and what I was thinking in my head a minute ago is because we had money. We, as a city, we have money to hire deputies, and we would do it. We'd do it probably pretty soon because, we can. But we can't because they're not available. And there's just not enough graduating to fill the quality spots that you have. I think 3 years ago, it was like $275,000 for a 40-hour car. Was that correct? About 3 years. And it's about 400 now, Brian?
Yeah, you're
Something like-
nearing high 400s, low 500s.
Now, yeah, it's really, it's going to be $500,000 another year for just a 40-hour sheriff. But I got to imagine that it's not the deputy that comes on board, because isn't there a percentage of support team around a deputy, like detectives, homicide, staff at the stations? Isn't there a percentage of a deputy that's hired that has to have a percentage of other, even the civilian side of law enforcement?
That is
And
correct.
because it's not just one deputy, he's ready to go. Eventually, you put so many deputies in, there's not enough jailers and all those around to handle the volume that this deputy can do on the street. So it's not just, is it the 1,200 you're estimating that we're short? Does that include the support team around a deputy that's on the streets?
That includes all sworn personnel. So
Okay,
it would
all-
include
so
the
it would be everything,
detectives,
okay.
but it doesn't include the professional staff, the people
okay.
behind the scenes. That,
Right, that's
yeah.
what I'm talking about. Yeah, this makes the business work. Yeah, but I know it's a struggle. I do know a lot. And the reason I'm bringing this up, because the residents in TV land doesn't know that. They don't know what we know up here, what we've learned with our tenure up here. It's a lot more difficult than it appears, and it costs a lot of money. But until we turn around and get more deputies, because there's other cities that would like to buy more deputies, and we can't do it. It's because they're not available. I think we're going the right direction. It seems like the sheriff department is doing more with less, just like the city of Bellflower has done for the last couple of decades. I kind of mirror that, is trying to do a good job with less. And for some reason, it can get done if you work hard at it. But I do know one thing, that the sheriff department is doing their best with what they have, and society's got them in a headlock, so to speak. Oh, but it ain't a chokehold. But it's a struggle, and it's a balance that we have to come up with as a city with our hiring our deputies, and it's basically, we hire from a menu of what we want: how many detectives, how many special assignment officers, how many traffic cars, to how many radio call cars. One time we wanted to get a no call car, which would just answer. They wouldn't, Lakewood wouldn't call them and detour them to somewhere else. We could have them do what we wanted. Yeah, go to this, it's a burglary over here, go take care of that, or take care of these knuckleheads that don't look like they're up to no good or something. We could do that. But now our on-call cars, they can get yanked away at any time, and that's what we have. But one day I want that no-call car, and we talked about it a couple years ago, but
Once we have the bodies.
yeah, we got to have bodies to do it. But it's the struggle of the times we live in. And with that, I know it's going kind of long. Thank you for what you do. Thanks, Captain.
All right, thank you, Ray. Councilmember Coops?
So we've kind of put gang suppression on the back burner. Can you tell me what's being done to suppress that idea of joining a gang and all the things that are associated with that? And Brian, either one, whoever thinks you're closest to the problem.
So our gang suppression is not on the back burner. We have a special assignment officer that's specifically working with our OSS team, and he's gathering so much intelligence regarding our gangs, and he's already done a couple warrants, very successful, arresting gang members, recovering firearms. So I think it's actually even more robust with that person inside there, talking with our OSS detectives on a daily basis. So that what you guys allowed is tremendous. Not every city does it, and you can see the results regarding the arrest of these gang members. And we'll continue with that. Very proactive deputy that you have right now working for you.
So can you put that chart back up again, Brian, that shows the decreases in how we performing against other cities?
This one?
Yeah, that's the one. So I'm sure Lake would love to see this chart.
Facts are facts.
Right. But we've never had that kind of information or conclusion that we've, if you go back a year before this, and I was, during my time as mayor, I had 9 homicides. I think I hold the record. And Sonny, I think, is at 1 or 2 for the year, aren't you? Or maybe just 1.
1.
Right. But, like we take personal responsibility for that. You see.
Oh,
But I think that tells the story better than anything else, that we've got that much decrease. And that's what I would dwell upon. But I'm so glad that you guys are turning the corner on trying to find more quality people to fill the ranks. Because I know with retirements and people get hurt, people that move, and other sheriff departments dangling $25,000 and $30,000 bonuses to sign up to go to another city. I know it's difficult, but I appreciate the good work you're doing. That's all I had, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you, then. Councilmember Morse?
I won't keep this long. Just thank you for your presentation. And I just have one question. Most of the other ones you've already answered. The see something, say something. Do you feel that that's successful with our residents? Do you guys feel you get calls for stuff that's actually, I don't know what the right word is. Just see something, say something.
No, I think it is successful. I mean, there's times where, I mean, that does affect our response time when it's a little, stuff. Hey, I see somebody walking. I don't know if he's selling something or soliciting. He shouldn't be soliciting. That's fine because we need to know who he is and what he's doing. But that does, that's probably not a priority call. So it will be kind of on the back burner, but we will eventually get there. And the more stats we have, the information that we have, we can pinpoint in future where we can put our resources at. If we're getting too many calls where there are people hanging out or stealing recyclables or whatever it is, that's something we can use the data for.
Okay, thank you.
I would say to piggyback off that, I think for lower level issues, people without a doubt are seeing something and saying something. But oddly enough, for more severe issues, when people see things, they're not calling it in. And again, somewhat of an anecdotal story, but we had another shot spotter alert that was back here on the bike trail behind City Hall. And we happened to have one of our deputies sitting in the county parking structure over here. He actually heard the gunshots. So he went over there, and no one was there, but he talked to a few people that were on the trail. And they said, oh, yeah, 2 individuals crossed paths. They both pulled guns, and they both shot at each other. Did anyone call 911? No. So that's kind of where we get into, someone stealing, looking in they're canvassing or to break into a car, someone will call. But then 2 individuals shooting each other on the bike trail, nobody calls it in.
Right.
So to take that for what it's worth.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. But thank you again for the presentation.
Okay, very good. Thank you. Just a follow-up question for you, Brian. If and when, let's say, we authorize Kingdom Causes to work with the Beast team, how do you envision that to work?
So we're I think I saw Andrew here today somewhere. He is. We've had numerous conversations with Andrew and his team to see what this would look like, and it would be pretty much their efforts at this point would be to go out ahead of the Beast team to make that contact with individuals in specific areas, and then the Beast team would come back in through afterwards, usually maybe the next day or so, and then deal with whatever they have to deal with at that point. We feel that their success will be better outside of being with us initially, and then people will be more prone to want to take those services that are being rendered and offered at that time.
So it's kind of similar to what the county is doing.
Similar, yes,
Similar,
but I
okay,
would say
okay.
that, again, they have the interior knowledge of Bellflower and those resources, and even connecting people with those county resources. Andrew and his team know it much better than I know it, as far as going through the milestone of just endless programs which the county offers. They are much more in tune with that than we are.
Okay. All right, very good. Any other follow-up question?
That'll do
Nope. Okay, very good. Thank you so much, Captain. Thank you so much, Brian. Very good.
Am I able to ask a question about the presentation?
You can ask that during public comments.
Understood.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, next item, we have Foster Road Traffic Signal Upgrade and Lane Striping Project. Another exciting presentation.
Is that going to be presented by Mr. Preciado?
No.
Oh.
He's all dressed up.
He looks sharp over there, buddy.
No, he's for me.
Good evening,
gonna wear a
Honorable
tie
Mayor
now?
and council members. Just real quick, I wanted to run through this project. I know you guys are aware that we acquired a grant a couple years back for the Foster Road traffic signal installs. I'm just going to do a quick update on where we're at with that, as well as some additional striping plans for Foster Road. So real quick, Foster is an arterial highway here in the city. We share jurisdictional boundaries with the city of Downey. Downey owns the northern half of the street. We own the southern half of the street. We applied for a grant through Los Angeles County Metro back in 2022. We successfully received that grant. We signed our funding agreement in 2003 with the county. And from there, we initiated the project design. So the project is 100% designed out. We have already started the purchase of the equipment, the traffic control equipment, as you guys have heard me talk in years past with similar projects. The poles and the mast arms are typically anywhere from a 32 to 40-week lead on that. So we have not put the project out to bid yet. However, the city has initiated the purchase of that equipment, so it will be here on hand. We're expecting it in June, and from there we'll have everything here, so we don't have to start that 40-week clock once we award a contract for the actual work. Just briefly, the project includes the following. At Clark Avenue in Foster, we're doing, there's existing signals there. However, we will be installing protected left turn signals. These are the left green arrows in all four directions. Bellflower Boulevard, we already have the left arrows for north and south. We'll be doing modifications to install them also for east and west. And then at the Artist Charlemagne intersection, there's currently no signal there, but we will be putting in a new four-way signal there with left turn signals for east-west traffic. This is just an overview real quick of Foster Road highlighted in yellow, and then the three squares are the signals where we'll be doing modifications or installing a new one. With this, we are currently talking with the city of Downey about restriping Foster Road. So if you have driven west of Lakewood Boulevard, Gardendale, it's called Gardendale west of Lakewood. Gardendale went through a restriping project about 7 or 8 years ago. They had 2 lanes of traffic in each direction, no turn lanes, very similar situation to what we have here. The project that they did there, it eliminated a 1 vehicle lane of traffic in each direction. It created a striped center median, which now allows people to pull out of the path of traveling vehicles, and they can wait and clear to make left-hand turns, either at intersections, into driveways, into businesses. And they also created a striped bike lane they did all that without losing any on-street parking. Further restriping on Foster Road, which is not part of this grant, but is recommended to continue east of Lakewood Boulevard. So this will be coming east into the city of Bellflower to create a similar center striped median necessary for the protected left turn pockets. Would also continue the bike lanes west of Lakewood Boulevard, and this is actually would be the final connection or the final segment of a bike path on the roadway to connect between the San Gabriel River and the LA River, which are 2 major regional bike paths. Right now, there's no direct connection between those 2 regional paths, so this would complete that connection. And then existing on-street parking would continue to be in place on Foster Road with this restriping. So this is Gardendale. This is over by St. Pius High School. This will show you, this is the way the configuration used to be. 2 lanes of traffic each direction, on-street parking. This is the project after they redid it. So just highlighting, they created the center lane. They continue a single lane of traffic. There's the bike lane is installed, and then there's the on-street parking that was still left in place. This is a segment of Foster Road here in Bellflower side. Very similar situation with the two travel lanes. The proposed restriping would create that center lane, create the travel lane, bike lane, as well as the parking lane along the curb. This is just a...
Len,
Yes.
let me see. On Gardendale, were there two bike lanes or just one bike lane?
Oh, no, there's two bike lanes on each side. I just highlighted one side.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I missed it.
Yeah, I just highlighted one side. Here we are. This is Clark and Foster. This will show you the need for the center lane. Once we put in those left turn arrows, we would either have to program it as a split phase signal, which is similar to what we have here at Oak or over at Harvard, which will. It's not the most efficient way to run traffic signals, but you have to deal with the space that you have. So that would create the left turn pocket here for us. And then this will be the intersection where we'll do the new signal at Artis and Charlemagne. And again, it's the same effect here. There's no room as it's currently striped to allow for the left turns without backing up traffic. So that is primarily the reason why we're leaning towards restriping it, eliminating one of the travel lanes in each direction, creating that center lane to give cars space to pause, make their left turns, and allowing other vehicles to continue forward. And that concludes that presentation. Be more than happy to answer any questions.
So I just want to confirm that because we are reducing 2 lanes on each direction to 1 lane. Does the traffic study support that?
Yeah, there's no impact to the flow of traffic. So the traffic counts for Foster Road they're not at the level that requires it to be 2 lanes in each direction.
So we don't anticipate any congestion on Foster Road?
No, nothing more than what we see right now during our peak hours.
Yeah, okay. All right, very good. Thanks for the presentation.
Yep.
It's good. All right, any question of Len?
No.
I have one.
Councilmember Coops, go
Let's
ahead.
go back one slide. Okay, now Len, that's looking west on Foster Road, correct?
That's looking east.
Okay, looking east. So
Yep. Charlemagne to the right, Artis to the left.
all right, and so Bellflower is on the left-hand side of this, or
Right hand.
the right-hand side? So the median, that double yellow line, that indicates the division between Downey and Bellflower, correct?
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Within a couple feet, yes.
So I've noticed that the paving in Downey, especially when you get to the areas we are, could lead we're in good shape. They are not. Have you noticed that as well? Or am I speaking out of turn here?
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, not noticeable, but if we did this project, the roadway would be grind and overlaid.
On both sides.
Yeah, on both sides, correct.
So if we put a signal here be a new one, I would think that City of Downey would share in the cost of that because they're getting half the usage, correct?
Yes.
So when you got $850,000.
Correct.
And is that meant to be used on this intersection or several intersections?
That's meant to be used on all 3 of the intersections that we're doing the traffic control. So when we put the RFP out and we receive the bid amounts and the bid award, if the total cost exceeds the $850,000 grant, then we'll circle back around with Downey. We'll do an MOU with them to handle the remaining balance that we would split on a 50-50 split.
But
same thing when we do the striping and the overlay. Downey will take the lead on that because they essentially have the plans already. They did everything west of Lakewood Boulevard. So Downey would come up with their budget and they would put that out to bid, and then that cost would be shared 50-50 with us.
So when you go out for bid, does Downey part of that process? So you guys decide who you're going to award it to because
No.
it's half their money, or are we taking the lead on that?
No, we're the lead on the traffic signal project.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they'll flutter along and pay their half.
Yes.
Okay. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you.
They've been waiting for this
You just wanna
project
make
too.
sure,
Yeah.
right?
Well, you know, I mean, I
We,
don't do
we
that.
split everything 50-50,
No,
or
but-
in some cases, it's a 75-25. We have a lot of joint use, MOUs with other agencies that we share signals with. We have them with Long Beach. We have them with Lakewood. In fact, Arlington and Cane Hill split between Lakewood, Cerritos, and us. So it's pretty common for us to do that when you have shared jurisdictions.
Okay.
I think except for the traffic signal on Bellflower and Foster Road, the left turn signal, I think we paid at 100%. That's my recollection.
Yeah, that signal's been there since
I remember that.
Yeah.
that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
predates me. Yeah, you guys may have
Nah,
some.
we don't want to pay.
Yeah, they don't want to pay. So.
Well, that's why.
But we needed
I
it, so.
remember that
Yeah.
conversation. I wondered whether or not how noble we were,
Mm.
but it sounds like we're participating with them.
Right.
That's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Okay, very good. Thank you so
All right.
Question,
okay,
Mr.
one
Thank
more
you very
question.
much.
Wait, Len, one question.
One more
Yes.
question.
Not really related to this project specifically, more so the funding source, the MTA. How often are we applying for grants like that? And do we have anything in the pipeline for the Artesia corridor over with that we share with Long Beach? They beautified their whole section.
The Artesia and Lakewood corridors.
No,
are
Artesia
both-
and Downey.
Downey Avenue?
Artesia
Downey
and
Avenue.
Downey. No, I don't
Mhm.
have anything specifically set up for there. We are looking at the Gateway's Artesia corridor plan that's been developed, and we also have the Lakewood Boulevard plan that we also did through the Gateway COG. Those were both grant-driven to come up with design concepts for those roadways. You know, Long Beach went out on their own and did their thing on Artesia, and
Could we get a presentation on that in the future?
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thank
on
you, sir.
the two corridor plans.
On that on that corridor plan. I think it was done before my time or early on in my time, and
Yeah.
just want to touch it. Thank you.
Certainly.
All right, thank you, Len. All right, next item, public comments, Mr. Smoot.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the time set aside for the public to address the city council on matters not listed on the agenda. Anyone wishing to address the city council should come to the podium, be recognized by the mayor, and state your name for the record. If you wish to address the city council on an agenda item, you may do so by approaching the podium as we review that particular item, and you'll be given 3 minutes to address the city council.
All right, just please sign in and state your name for the record.
Hello, good evening, City Council and Honorable Mayor.
Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Sofia Partida. I just had a couple questions about the previous public safety presentation. First one, kind of a jargon question. What does RFP stand for?
Well, request for proposal.
Okay, thank you. And then also in that statistics about our crime, were car crash deaths included in that? Do we know?
That's not really a crime.
No, it's not a crime.
Oh,
Yeah,
it
no.
doesn't count as a homicide if, oh, okay, got it. And then last question or comment, I know Mr. McNeary discussed potential alternatives to, citizen-ran, crime groups. I know that there's an app called the Citizen app that a lot of people report crime on. Just kind of wanted to bring that up to the attention of the council and to Mr. McNeary as, a potential way to organize and view crime reporting. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. It's good to see you again. My name is Brian Bretto, and I serve as California American Water's Southern California External Affairs Manager. I'm here to share that California American Water has recently updated our emergency response plan. Our ERP outlines how we protect, operate, and restore service in our water systems during an emergency. It covers critical system components, reporting and notification procedures, security protocols, response actions, and the use of the standardized emergency management system within the incident command framework. The priority of our ERP is first to protect human life, followed by protecting the environment, property, and maintenance of essential water system operations. While we hope we never need to use these plans, our responsibility is to be prepared fully. In the event of an emergency, our plan ensures we can respond effectively and maintain or restore service, including providing backup water supplies when necessary. We value our partnership with the community, and California American Water remains committed to ensuring the safety and resiliency of our water systems. We welcome ongoing coordination with you and city staff. If any of you would like to review the plans, learn more about any of the specifics of our plans, I would encourage you to contact me. I can be contacted at brian.barreto@amwater.com or 626-388-7484. Thank you for your time, and thank you for your continued support.
Thanks, Brian.
Good evening.
Please sign in and state your name.
I actually
Oh, you
did.
did? Okay.
I did.
Thank you.
Thank you. My name is Judith Slenk. I'm the coordinator of our neighborhood watch in Park Street, east of Woodruff. So originally, I thought of the idea of the neighborhood watch after one of our cars' catalytic converter was stolen. So I contacted the city council coordinator, and now we have the neighborhood watch signs on our street. We actually have 4, but we have more concern that we want to bring up to the council. Park Street and Woodruff has no stop sign or no light. There is a sign on Beach Street, a light, but that corner always have accidents. We recently had an accident last Thursday. So what we're asking is to have a red paint, so that those 2 corners will have an easy, at least we can see when we turn right or even left. You know, most of us go to beach to avoid accidents. But this truck on Thursday was a worker that didn't know that it's a accident-prone street. So that's one. Second thing is, our street connects to California, so it's Walnut, Park, and Beach. California connects us 3, and we have a stop sign there on California, but we want to request for a stop sign on Park Street, making it a 4-way stop, because the cars just run, like it's like a 45 mile an hour on that street. And so we have a lot more children on that street, and it's a public safety that we want to bring up to you guys. I think the neighborhood watch would be an effective way to lessen crime. We created a Facebook group. We created a group text. So those are like things that I'm sharing with you and our neighborhood. So I brought it up, and I emailed Mr. Zamora for the concerns that we have, and hopefully we can get public safety to acknowledge our concerns.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Lang, for bringing up the issues. Len, can you look into that? I think it's a line of sight issue on Woodruff and Park.
Yes, we received. Mr. Zamora had forwarded it to that.
Okay.
We're looking at the 2-way to 4-way conversion,
Right.
and then the red curb line of sight is darned if you do, darned if you don't, because it ultimately eliminates on-street parking.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, so it's a little difficult and touchy
It's that
sometimes.
tough balancing act. Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. All right, but we'll look into that. Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Honorable Mayor and City Council. First, I want to thank you for all the hard work you do. We appreciate you very much. My name is Holly Risha. I've been a resident on Park Street for 44 years. My family and I love Park Street. My family and I love Bellflower, city of Bellflower. And we thank the sheriff, we thank everybody. As part of the neighborhood watch, it's really, I understand that the coloring, the red on the street will lose parking, but there is actually a disabled big car parked on the corner on Woodruff itself, on the corner of Park and Woodruff. We can't even make a safe right turn. We can't even make a safe left turn. And it's been happening so often. There's so many mishaps, so many missed accidents. It's really scary. So we really need your help. On Walnut, there is redlining. On Beach, there is a light, but on Park, there's nothing. And we really need your help. It's been going on for so long, and we thank our coordinator who really started the neighborhood watch, but hopefully we can use that tool to really connect with you, and we need your help. That we really need your help on Park Street, and we appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Again, thank you so much, and there's a process to do it, so we will go through the process and make it happen. Okay, thank you so much. And also, it's a kind of a good testament that the neighborhood watch is working. So it's good. It's a good sign. Thank you so much. Keep it up.
Good evening, Council.
Good evening.
Joel Slank. I'm representing the Bellflower Civic Chorus. I want to thank Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez for making the announcement that we have our concert this week right across the lobby. Thank you very much. But more importantly, I want to thank the City of Bellflower for allowing the Civic Chorus to use the facilities at Sims Park every Tuesday night for all of our rehearsals, and also the fact that we can use the auditorium here at no charge. That's a huge help to us. It allows us to pay our conductor, to purchase music for our group, and just want to say thank you again, a debt of gratitude from everyone at the Bellflower Civic Chorus for your support. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. And that will be Saturday and Sunday this weekend, right? 2:30. Okay. It's on my calendar.
There's a children's choir also joining us.
Okay. All right.
Hi, my name's Don Abbott. I brought this subject up about 3 years ago. I have a wife that is very noise sensitive, and we have had a lot of increase in live bands and parties, and I'm going to end up having to take my wife to the hospital if the city can't help curb this. I was told 3 years ago they had a plan. They wouldn't tell me what it was, and it's just gotten worse. Any suggestions?
Mr. McNerney, you can see Mr. McNerney outside, and he can talk to you about it.
Okay, and quick note on the sheriff issue, bring Sky Night back. It was a good patrol unit, put eyes in the sky everywhere, just random patrols.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abbott.
Good evening. Oh, sorry. Good evening, Mayor
Good
and
evening.
council members. My name is Kimberly, and I work with Helpline Youth Counseling. It's a nonprofit organization dedicating to enhancing the well-being of youth and families through counseling, education, and community resources. I am here today on behalf of the Southeast Community Alliance, whose mission is to actively engage the public in addressing alcohol, drugs, prescription drugs misuse across LA County Service Planning Area 7. One of our key initiatives is our Let's Make a Difference campaign. It is community-level prevention effort focused on promoting safe medication disposal and practices. Our goal is to help families reduce the risk of medication misuse and abuse right at the home through the storage, safe disposal, and discouraging the sharing of prescription medication. We collaborate with pharmacies within community organizations and local partners to share awareness of how to simple actions like locking up medication and properly disposing of unused prescription medication can make a difference in protecting our youth. Our campaign has 28 active pharmacies participating within SPA 7, and out of the 6 pharmacies visited in Bellflower, only 1 is actively supporting our campaign by sharing and educating and helping expand our resources. Bellflower has a population of roughly 75,000 and has only 3 permanent medication disposal locations. When families don't have safe and easy access to disposal sites, unused prescription tend to stay in the home longer and increase the risk of accidental or intentional access by teens or visitors. I would like to know that our organization partners with the city of Downey and the city of Whittier for National Take Back Day. This past Saturday, April 25th, we partnered with Whittier PD and Downey PD for National Take Back Day. Whittier PD collected a total of 345 pounds, and the city of Downey collected 335.5 pounds of expired or unwanted medication. We encourage the city of Bellflower to register and participate in the next National Take Back Day, scheduled for October 2026. I want to acknowledge the Bellflower's strong commitment to youth and community health. Medication safely in the area with small actions can lead to real change. As we continue to grow, we invite the city of Bellflower to partner with us. Our campaign is free, and with your support, we will be able to make Bellflower's homes safer and protect the community. Thank you.
Kimberly, can you give your contact person with the city clerk so we can
Yes.
connect with you? All right. Thank you so much for offering your support. All right. Anyone else?
Hi, good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening, City Council. My name is Stephanie. There once was this town where kids played outside and roamed the streets safely on their bikes. Neighbors knew each other and helped each other out. I get to experience that feeling on my block. And on my block, the children can play and bike freely and safely on the street all day, once a year, through a community-led annual project with a welcoming atmosphere and a strong sense of neighborliness. The block closes. Activities and food abound. The block party commences. Adults, elderly, and children of all ages play together. The rush of the world stops just for a day. Over the years, dear neighbors move out. New neighbors are welcomed and join in. Neighbors with terminal diseases and neighbors that pass away are remembered fondly. Block parties where people meet up after many years. I personally saw my high school nurse 20 years after I graduated during one of these block parties. And previously, in our previous mailman, still brings his children. It's a shame that one individual can affect the entire block, because unfortunately, they do what they were informed not to do. I would like to ask the Bellflower City Council to revise the official block party rules and not let one bad apple spoil the rest. Block parties create closer neighbors, neighborhoods that create the friendly city. Thank you, City Council.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? All right. Moving along. Item 12A, Mr. Smoot.
Excuse us for a moment, Mr. Mayor. We're going to play musical chairs a little bit, but I believe Catherine and Elizabeth are going to be presenting this item for you.
I will need to recuse myself on item 12A for property conflicts.
Okay. All right. Councilmember Morris is recused.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
Oh.
Quickly here for the record.
Oh, that's right. You have to
Yeah, gotta
explain
read it in
this.
the record.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, do you need to read that, or you will read
That's
it?
okay. I can
Sure.
state it.
Okay, go ahead.
For the record, lots were drawn on this matter due to property conflicts on October 23rd, 2023, between council members Ray Dutton, Dan Coops, and Wendy Morse to determine who would participate. It was determined at that time that Councilmember Coops would participate in the matter moving forward, and council members Dutton and Morse would remain conflicted on this matter.
Okay.
I thought I was going to read it in the record first, but anyway, I'll have to recuse myself due to property conflict. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Smoot.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to let Catherine go ahead and take this one over.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council members, and members of the public. I have before you a brief presentation for this project, which is located at 17617 through 17639 Bellflower Boulevard. On September 26, 2022, the City Council approved a similar project and approved a 100-day time extension for the project on October 23rd, 2023. The previous project included a conditional use permit for 3 restaurants with drive-through components, a fuel station with accessory drive-through components, a fuel station with accessory off-site alcohol sales, and developing on lots that will measure less than 1.5 acres, as well as a development review for the construction of 5 commercial buildings. An administrative determination was also upheld that a fuel station is a conditionally permitted use in the DFD. On April 19, 2024, a rough grading permit was issued and expired on April 19, 2025. With no work completed, and subsequently the entitlements also expired on this date. The project site is currently comprised of 8 lots with a total area of approximately 4 acres, shown here outlined in blue. The project site is located along Bellflower Boulevard and stretches between Ramona Street to the north and Cedar Street to the south. The project site is within the design for development for the South Bellflower commercial area, also known as the DFD, and has a general plan land use designation of commercial. The applicant is requesting approval of a tentative map to reconfigure the 8 lots into 5 lots, a development review to allow for the construction of 4 commercial buildings that range from 1,025 square feet in size to 5,728 square feet in size. Additionally, a conditional use permit will allow for 3 drive-through facilities, a fuel station with accessory off-site alcohol sales, and to allow for developments on lots that are less than 1.5 acres in size. The project site is proposed to be reconfigured from the 8 current lots to 5 lots and developed with 5 pads. Starting from left to right, pad 1 is located on the corner of Bellflower Boulevard and Cedar Street and is proposed to be developed with a 1,025 square foot cafe, including a drive-through component. The proposed tenant for this pad is Dutch Bro Coffee. There is a walk-up order window and an outdoor patio. Pad 2 is proposed to be developed with a 2,568 square foot building that would be a restaurant with a drive-through component. The proposed tenant for this pad is Habit Burger and Grill. There is an indoor dining room as well as an outdoor dining patio. Pad 3 is proposed to be developed with a 5,728 square foot multi-tenant commercial building that includes a drive-through component. The building is proposed to be divided into 4 tenant spaces and have an outdoor patio. No tenants have been identified at this time. Pad 4 is located on the corner of Bellflower Boulevard and Ramona Street and is proposed to be developed with an 8-pump fuel station as well as a 3,062 square foot convenience store. The proposed fuel station is to be operated by Shell, and the convenience store is proposed to be operated by 7-Eleven. Finally, Pad 5 is located off of Ramona Street, and it is proposed to be developed with an electric vehicle charging station designed with 24 charging stations and 6 additional non-EV parking spaces. Pursuant to government code, EV charging stations are subject to a streamlined review and will be separately considered and approved. Therefore, the EV charging stations are not subject to discussion this evening. This applicant submitted a fly-through of the project showing the buildings facing Bellflower Boulevard. While the video plays, I will discuss the analysis for the CUP. First up is pad 4. The analysis shows that the operation of the fuel station with accessory offsite alcohol sales does not result in an increase of alcohol licenses within the city, since the 7-Eleven across the street will relocate to the project site. A transportation impact study and drive-through queuing analysis was prepared for the project. The queuing analysis found that the project provides sufficient queuing for each drive-through facility. The queue for pad 3, which is with the tenant signage, can accommodate for 11 vehicles. The queue for pad 2, Habit Burger and Grill, shown here, can accommodate for 8 vehicles. And the queue for pad 1, Dutch Bro Coffee, can accommodate 17 vehicles. Internal drive aisles will provide for additional queuing capacity to prevent spillover into the main drive aisles as well as adjacent streets. Pads 1, 2, and 4 were all designed to reflect their respective corporate prototypes, yet they all incorporate similar design features and materials such as gray brick, wood composite siding, and metal awnings in complementary color palettes. The municipal code requires a CUP for developments on parcels of less than 1.5 acres to encourage larger commercial developments. The project site is being reconfigured from 8 lots to 5. However, the project site is being developed cohesively, and the common areas between each lot provides for the appearance that the project site functions as one development to meet this requirement. Before you is the census tract map, with existing active on-sale alcohol licenses. The census tract to the left, where the project site is located, is census tract number 5544.04. There are currently 3 active on-sale licenses within this census tract. So 1 to the north, and these 2 on Clark Avenue on the left. The subject site is shown here in the circle. The adjacent adjacent to the project site is census tract 5544.05. And within this census tract, there are 2 active licenses. One is at the existing 7-Eleven store across the street, which is shown to be moved to the project site. The 4 commercial buildings are of a modern design and similar to the recently built commercial buildings in the vicinity, such as the Bellflower Center across the street. No traffic mitigation measures were required by the traffic impact analysis. A total of 143 parking spaces and 4 loading spaces are provided. The requirement is for 54 parking spaces and 2 loading spaces. It has been found that the project conforms with the city's general plan land use element and the zoning regulations. Recommended conditions of approval are included as Exhibit A of the resolution. I do want to enter into the record that the applicant, Mr. Stephen Pollock, recently changed companies, and instead of representing On Point Development Management, he now represents Pollock Devco LLC. This company name will be updated in the resolution 26-14. Staff recommends to open the public hearing, take testimonial and documentary evidence, and after considering the evidence, adopt resolution number 26-14, or alternatively discuss and take other action related to this item. This concludes staff's presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine, for your very exciting presentation. First question about Mr. Pollock. So what's the legal implication of the change?
I don't believe there's any legal implication other than for the resolution and the conditions of approval, which he will sign for. We do want to reflect his current company name. But we were authorized, or the property owner did authorize the change and provided that in writing for the record.
Okay. Was Mr. Pollock involved in the first CUP?
He was in a different capacity involved with the previous entitlements.
And he's here tonight?
He is here tonight.
Okay,
yes.
good. Okay. All right. Well, just to give some kind of background, Mr. Coops and I were in part of the subcommittee who reviewed this project 3.5 years ago, right?
Yep.
That was 2022, 3.5 years ago. And I'm just saying that we were very excited about this plan 2.5, 3 years ago, and everything was gung-ho. The presentation was very similar, and we were looking forward to its completion. So just like the staff report stated, nothing happened. After 2.5 years, eventually the CUP expired way back in 2025, April 2025. All right, so just kind of brief background for our residents. First question I have is on the pad 3. Can you show that map again? There you go. So there's no entrance. There's no entrance from Bellflower Boulevard, right? On pad 3, only here. Excuse me, Mr. Berger, I might laser your eyes. I want to be cautious about this.
Well,
I know.
You were
I
pointing
know.
to a burger place.
No.
So
There's an entrance here. There's an entrance here, but nothing here, right? Okay, and there's going to be entrance here on the gas station. So if there's going to be a drive-through here, someone has to come this way or this way to go into this drive-through, or this way, correct? From here to here. Okay. So I was kind of envisioning about pad 3. It's going to be similar to across the street, Starbucks, with drive-through and then 3 other pads inside. 3 other spaces inside, correct? It's going to be similar conceptually.
Yes, that is
If
correct.
that were to happen.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, and then I'm just kind of working on my memory here. 3.5 years ago, we talked about a shared trash compactor. Was that?
There was a
come into fruition
discussion.
with that? Because you mentioned about there's going to be separate trash bins
Correct.
for
So
each pad, correct?
that is correct. So right now, pad 1, 2, 3, and 4 each have their own trash enclosure with their own trash bins.
Okay.
And they will have their own trash service, contracted through the trash company. At this time, no trash compactors are being proposed. There is a condition of approval that if the Director of Public Works were to find it necessary, they would have to install the trash compactors. But given that each individual tenant will have not each individual, pads 1 and 2 and 4, they'll each have one, and then pad 3 will share between the 4 tenants. That should be sufficient without needing a trash compactor.
For now.
For now.
Okay. All right. Very good. I'm glad that you addressed that issue. Okay. All right. I will hold up my question to the applicant for now. Mr. Coops, do you have any question?
yes,
Yeah,
entry
please.
onto the property, can this being Ramona, could you pass through this lot where they're charging cars to access the other ones?
Yes, you can. So let me point out here. So this is the driveway entrance off of Ramona.
Okay.
So this is a drive aisle that's open. This is also a straight through drive aisle. So the easiest way would be to drive through this drive aisle and then be able to access any of these drive-throughs on any of these pads. Through the EV charging station lot, this also connects through, and then it comes down to this drive aisle down here.
Could you access the convenience market from that lot, or you got to come around the corner?
You
Or-
can, yeah. So this is also a drive aisle along the side of Ramona.
Okay.
Yeah, this way is blocked with the trash and landscaping and then parking, but along this side here, it is open.
Mr. Mayor brought up a consideration for the possibility of a trash compactor. Now, have we ever, I can't recall where we've approved a project and then say someday you may have to put in a compactor. That's kind of a new idea, isn't it?
But well, correct me if I'm wrong, it's in the conditions of approval.
It is in the conditions
So
of
it
approval.
can
It's a
be after-
carryover from the 2022 approval. But you are correct, Mr. Coops, that it's
It's
kind
a
of
new deal, isn't it? A new
an
condition.
uncommon condition.
So do you then require them to rough in the power for the potential of a compactor?
Councilmember Coops, at this time, they're not required to put in the electricity or the requirements to be able to have the compactor. But I believe we have had a discussion with the applicant related to trash compactors. So they can provide some more insight on whether or not they plan on putting in the rough electrical for it.
What would trigger that to become the new way of disposing of trash? What, that they couldn't contain all their trash in the containers?
It really depends on the operation and how the bins will be serviced. So some restaurants do generate a lot more waste, in which case it needs to be compacted every day or be able to fit in the containers. And if there's a situation where the trash enclosure that's currently there and the service that's being provided is not adequate, there could be that requirement in the future for a compactor.
But it could
Currently,
be
there
as-
is not
It
one.
could be as simple as saying to CR&R, we'd like to have more pickups. Rather than one
Yes.
a week, we could do one a
Yes.
day. I mean, that would be a way to
Correct.
mitigate the compactor.
Yes, and then the way that the condition was written, it does state if reasonably required. So there does have to be some type of nexus requirement for the Public Works Director to require that compactor.
But they would have the option of just increasing their pickup days.
Correct.
Okay. That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez? You're in chair too.
Yeah, thank you, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I mean, I'll start off by saying, a former city manager once told me, until final occupancy and everything's finished and completed, it really isn't real. But anyways, we'll see what happens with this one. I have two unorthodox items, and I think that are of importance to us. I am looking at the plant schedule since we've already handled all the other items and technical items, and I see that there's plenty of. I'm not concerned about parking. I'm not concerned about egress. I think those are all they've been handled by staff. My concerns come to after completion. Is the first one is the maintenance of the property and the continued. We always get these projects and we see like the beautiful landscaping and everything. But as you can tell by Golden Corral and other things like that, they just go to the hayside once they're ribbon cutting and everything else. So what can we do, and this is more of a burger question, to ensure that this is actually how it's intended to be maintained? Because is there anything that within our authority, anything that we can do? Or is it just basically they can present this plant schedule and, a year after opening, they can all go away?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, and I'm sure that Beth will correct me if I'm wrong, but the standard conditions of approval require the approval of the landscaping and maintenance schedule as part of the director's authority that is delegated to her, not just by the city council action in this particular instance, but also under the municipal code. So to answer your question, yes, the landscaping has to be maintained. As I always point out to the council, though, what you write down is always great, and then there's the implementation of it. And so just like any other code enforcement matter, it becomes a matter of code enforcement in terms of making sure that that condition of approval and the landscaping approvals are maintained.
So then this is more of an internal thing, more of a code enforcement related concern?
So the authority's there and the requirements are there.
Okay.
And then there just simply has to be the follow through, not just by the property owner, because obviously we always require and expect voluntary compliance from our corporate neighbors and from the folks that get approvals from the city council. But it's also the follow through from the code enforcement staff if necessary.
And Mr. Berger, you believe that we have the adequate then code in here built in for this?
Yes.
To be able to enforce that? Okay, great. The second item so that's a great question. So we'll handle that. That's more of an internal item since we have it here. The second item, when I first got on a few years back, I think, worked with some of the local liquor stores to stop selling single can alcohol. And that helped eliminate some of our concerns that we were having in some of our streets and intersections. Across the street from this intersection, we currently have a 7-Eleven, right, that if you drive by at given times of the day, there are those issues happening. So my question for the city attorney is, since we're having this conversation about, relocating a 7-Eleven, they're in the need of a CUP, and obviously our support for ABC to approve the alcohol license there, are we able to work with the applicant to prohibit single can sales at this location?
Yes, we certainly can. It goes back to my previous observation, which is
I figured so.
we can put in the conditions that you want in terms of enforcement, though. It always comes down to the voluntary nature of the property owner and enforcing what's expected, and then the additional layer of us actually enforcing the condition.
Okay.
Mayor,
I believe it's one of the conditions.
it is.
Oh, it is?
It is, yeah. I
Oh.
read that.
Okay, I didn't read
so,
that.
yeah.
What page is that on?
24.
No single.
Oh.
And I believe this also was a carryover from a
From the
previous.
Someone
yeah,
is
exactly.
listening to me.
Yeah, it was there.
Okay.
You just remember Artesian Clark, we had that.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was easier than I
Yeah,
expected.
exactly. We're getting better.
We're getting better.
There you go.
All right. Well, then that concludes my comment and question. After
Okay, very good.
proactive
All right,
work, I love
At
it.
this time, is there a motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Council Member Coop, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez to open the public hearing. Without objection, that will be the order. So we'd like to start with the applicant.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council and staff. Thank you very much. We're glad to be here finally resubmitting, and we're excited about the project. To let you know, we're in a different state than we were a few years ago in that we have 4 fully executed leases, and we have 4 tenants who are ready to go, and we have the funding, everything. We aren't on the heels of a pandemic, so we feel very strongly that we're ready, willing, and able to move forward, and we're looking forward to, adding this. Will provide a lot of convenience to the residents, and hopefully some good sales tax revenue for the city as well. So we appreciate all your time and appreciate working with staff. And Stephen Pollock is been handling all the
And
details.
you did not introduce yourself to the public?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Please
I'm
do.
Jeff. I'm sorry. I'm Jeff Gold. My family owns the property, and we're doing the development here.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gold.
Thank you.
And if you recall, 3.5 years ago, Councilmember Coops and I were very excited about this project.
So when I saw that picture again, I was excited all over again.
So my question to you is, are we going to do it again the same way as what happened 2 years ago, or 3.5 years ago?
You know what? Last time.
What has changed? Give
Well-
us some kind of comfort
well-
here in terms of things have changed and it's going to happen this time.
Yes, it's going to happen, and there's always an asterisk with that. If there's another pandemic and that affects the retail environment, then we may have some issues with our tenants. But as of now, everything is looking good. We have the funding, we have the tenants. We want to get our plan submitted and get moving right away.
Did you say you have 4 tenants already signed up?
Yes.
And that includes Pad 3?
Yeah, so, no, Pad 3, we don't have any.
Also, you have the EV station,
Yes.
charging station. Oh,
So
that's
we
the
have
4.
the
Okay.
Dutch Bros Coffee, the Habit Burger Grill, 7-Eleven, who will be the operator. Will be 7-Eleven is going to operate the convenience store as well as the gas station, but the brand of the gas will be Shell. So there's not two, it's one operator that's responsible for the operations on both of those. I wanted that little clarification. And then in Pad 5 in the back is electric vehicle charging station.
Okay.
And those are the 4 we have signed, and we're satisfied with economic terms. We don't need to change those. We're ready to move forward based on that.
So will the lack of a tenant for Pad 3 kind of hold your construction?
Right. So we are in negotiations with a few tenants now. So depending on what happens with those negotiations, when we're getting closer to ready to pull the permits and start the construction, we'll decide. If we had to do it now, I would go ahead and build it as presented. If we are getting ready to submit and we're in negotiations with a different tenant who wants to make some changes, then we would probably put a brief pause on it while we're working out those details, because it's better if we can build the building to the specifications of the tenant rather than guessing about the needs of the future tenants.
Okay, hold that thought. Staff, if the city council approves everything that you asked for tonight, okay, what are the steps that's gonna happen to make this come to fruition?
Mayor, so typically after the entitlements, the next step is for building plan check. So they would submit all their construction drawings.
And they haven't submitted anything yet in terms of plan check?
Not yet. The EV charging station is currently in plan check, but the rest of the pads are not. So that would be the next step, is to get the full construction drawings into building plan check.
So let me go back to you. When do you expect to submit the plan for plan check?
So Stephen Pollocks are handling all the construction.
Because I just want to make sure that we have a good timeline here between you and the staff, so we know what we're getting into.
Yeah, so our expectation is after the appeal period process is complete, we will immediately initiate the process to develop the full construction drawings and submit them.
So, Mr. Pollock, when do you expect to submit the plans for?
Within 90 days.
Within 90 days?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And after that, what happens next? Plan check, it takes approximately how many?
Like a week, and you'll stamp them, and we'll.
Yeah, we'll move on and we'll build it.
So there is the self-certification option.
Self-certification. You want to do that? Self-certification.
I think it's we're definitely open to it. We want to discuss that and make
No,
sure
we're open to it also. It's up to you.
Well, we want.
Well, I think it really depends. So self-certification process for the architects and mechanical engineers and actually the building plans makes some sense. For the civil engineers, I don't think it's technically totally open.
Correct.
Because of the public review period, the public review period of the engineering plans as well. So it's a little bit of a nuance. We're open to it, and I think if it saves us time and money, it makes sense.
I would encourage you to do it. I would really encourage you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay. We'll take your consideration. Thank you.
All right.
Mr. Mayor, there's also the option of fire plan submittals as well between LA County and us. Something to consider as well.
Okay. Yeah. Did you hear that? The fire plan submittal, you can use us or the county.
Gotcha. Yeah, we've been working with the county on the fire plan submittals and the fire access plans and the locations.
I think the city can do it faster.
Okay.
Just FYI.
Sounds good.
It's an option. It's your option, but
perfect.
It's an offer that we're making to you. All right. What's next after that?
Yes, Mayor. So after plan check, once all the different agencies review the plans and approve it, then typically it's grading that comes next.
Okay.
So as I understand, there are utilities on the site, including some power poles. So my understanding from Stephen is that they've been working with Edison to try to get that process moving as quickly as possible, because that could impact the timeline.
That could delay
Yes.
the project. I mean, you're being diplomatic.
Yes. And so that's usually part of the
Yeah.
utility plans that get submitted as well. So
Is there something you can do to address that issue beforehand?
Yes. So
simultaneously with the plan check?
Yes, and so we've actually been in plan check already and review by SoCal Edison since August, and we expect full approval from SoCal Edison at the end of July for the relocation of the power poles and the undergrounding of the current above overhead utilities.
Yeah, because based on our experience, there could be some delays with Edison.
Absolutely, yeah. And so as we got re-ramped up on this project, we wanted to make sure that we understood the long lead items. That was the number one item, so we started that process right away. We're using a utility contractor and consultant that is doing plan expediting for us. They actually used to have staff members that were members of SoCal Edison, and so they're able to help us kind of navigate the red tape there and expedite that request.
Okay. So after that, basically you can start construction, correct?
Correct.
All right. So I'm looking at about 7 months
Yeah, there you go.
from today.
I think, yeah, between 7 and 9 before
There
we
you
start
go.
construction
Okay.
makes sense.
I was counting. All right. Very good. Well, you can see my excitement here because I want to make sure that this project happens. Keep in mind that 3.5 years ago when we announced this project, our residents were just very excited about it. And over the years, it just kind of, when it's going to happen, if it's going to happen, if ever it's going to happen, it didn't happen. So they were very disappointed, more than I am. So I just want to make sure that we don't have to go to this second time around.
We will do whatever we can.
Okay, you assured us you have the funding, you have all the resources. Have you lined up the possible contractors already?
We have several good contractors.
You have, okay. So it seems like you're in a better place than 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, the main thing is we have four tenants who are committed and ready to go, and that's huge.
So let me just reiterate again. If you don't get the tenant for pad 3, you will still proceed with the project?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's all I have for, oh, one more question. Have you read all the conditions?
We have, and we accept most of them. We just have a couple that we want to write into the record, just clarifications. We have talked to planning staff over the last 48 or 2 business days, and we want to just make sure that we're on the same page with a couple of those.
So you don't have any objection, just clarification?
Correct.
Okay.
Is that
Mr.
okay?
City Attorney, would that be sufficient? To what extent can they?
We will need to know what they are
Yeah.
in order for them to be read into the record now.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. I'll start with condition number 7, fees and reimbursement. So as we understand them, would you like me to read the condition first before I? Yes? Okay. So as it states, the permittee must reimburse the city for all fees, including without limitation attorney's fees expended by the city that are directly related to the processing of this project. The city will not issue a certificate of occupancy or other final occupancy approval until all fees are paid by the permittee. I would like to write into the record that the fees that we understand include plan check, development impact fees, and permit fees. We do not intend to incur additional attorney fees, and the project team requests that additional fees for attorneys, if assessed, are presented to the project team prior to incurring those fees.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, those fees have already been incurred. You're here tonight. Those are my fees.
Okay.
So you'll certainly get an invoice from the planners, but the city expects those fees to be reimbursed. I'm not an employee.
Understood.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
So we're good with that? Okay,
I have 3 more.
all right,
That's
go
okay.
ahead, yeah.
Okay.
That's what we're here for.
Okay. Condition 15, site improvements and features, B. The permittee must obtain the neighbor's consent and approval in writing before the installation of a new perimeter wall or conducting any work on the existing walls located on a shared property line or adjacent properties. We spoke to planning staff today on this, and we've determined that the required screening and fencing that we are proposing within our project is located 100% within our property lines. We do commit to informing our neighbors, but if it's conducted completely within our property lines, we do not need their approval to install those walls.
See the attorney?
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, rather than completely taking it out and in an abundance of caution, why don't we just put in, well, it says shared property line or
Correct.
adjacent properties. So if everything's within your property, then this doesn't apply.
That's how we understand it with staff as well.
Okay,
All right,
we're fine.
we're fine. Okay, good. All right, we're making progress here, Mr. Pollock. Okay, third one?
Okay. 18, trash. We spoke about a little bit earlier about the trash compactors. Just to reiterate, the condition says if reasonably required by the Director of Public Works, the permittee must install trash compactors for each of the proposed trash enclosures. We're confirming that the project currently complies with the trash bin size requirements, and if the project is constructed as entitled, we will not need to install those trash compactors during the initial implementation of the project. We do commit to installing a 1-inch empty conduit for electrical. Should those trash compactors be required, it's very easy. We do not have to.
Just in case.
Yeah, just in case.
Okay.
I believe the condition says if reasonably required
Yeah.
by the Director of Public Works. So,
Okay.
okay.
All right, the last one.
Sounds like you're just asking for clarification, not changing the language.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
Correct. I want to make sure that we're on the same page here.
Yeah, okay.
And then I do want to bring up, this isn't just, there's a clarification as well in the conditions. 21, drive-through queue, permittee must ensure that the vehicle queues do not impede the parking spaces, the right-of-way, and the internal circulation. Employees must be stationed outside to direct traffic away from the queue anytime the queue extends off the project site. We will have project staff that is trained in queue response and traffic mitigation. And we also have a representative from Dutch Bros as well here if you do have additional questions about that.
So it seems like you're agreeable to that anyway, correct? Okay.
Correct, I do agree.
Yeah, okay. So we're good.
The one, one ad
you
that I
said
do
4.
want to have.
You said 4.
I said that was 3B. I do have a fourth one. Is 22 Landscape and Irrigation Plan B. The condition states the permittee must provide landscaping for the entire project site before the building official issues a certificate of occupancy or other final occupancy approval. We would like to request adding the word final in front of certificate of occupancy. And the reason for that is per sheet C3 of the improved entitlements, there is a phasing plan in there. The developer, Jeff, and myself, we intend to install the entire project, but Dutch Bros and Habit Burger are required to install their own structures in their own building with minor landscaping around their structures. And so we want to make sure that the certificate of occupancy for 7-Eleven or Pad 3 or Electrify America isn't tied to them finishing their landscaping. Only the final condition or final certificate of occupancy is held, the very last tenant.
Do we need to split that based on the pads, or?
Mr. Mayor, this is not an uncommon situation when we have a phased project like this. In fact, the project across the street from this project had a very similar situation. Our building official, at the end of the day, is responsible for issuing temporary certificates of occupancy and final certificates of occupancy. If it's within his purview to issue a temporary certificate of occupancy based on the landscaping of that particular pad, at some point we have to trust his reasonable nature
Okay,
to
so we can
do
have some flexibility in that case.
Certainly, and we do on
Okay.
a regular basis.
We're not too strict. Okay.
Okay.
It's all right. So, but since you asked the 5th question, I'm gonna make it instead of 7 months. You have 6 months now.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Well, don't add more time. I also- I
Exactly,
also have
because
one-
you added more time to this hearing, so I'm gonna subtract time from you. Okay. All right.
One thing, in terms of the alcohol sales with the tenant 7-Eleven, so they don't have a representative here tonight. They communicated to us that they have read the conditions that are in here and they're acceptable. They wanted to point out to the council that it's going to be the same franchisee is going to be operating the new location has been operating the current one. That they go through training of the employees, they scan IDs, they do a number of things, and because of the things they've done, they've never had any violations, and they expect to continue to be good citizens, and they're comfortable with the conditions as written.
Yeah. Okay. So they'll be good operators.
That's the plan.
Okay, that's the plan. All right. Any question of Mr. Gold and Mr. Pollack? Maybe
Yes,
Mr.
Mr. Mayor.
Sanchez, go
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you. Hey, Mr. Gold. Quick question regarding your landscape, since we touched on that a little bit. What is the plan? Who will be the primary responsible property manager for the entire pads?
So one of the conditions of approval is that we have a CC&R's covenants, conditions, and restrictions that apply to the entire property. So we will be, as the property owner, we will be responsible for the entire property, and once we're up and operating, we will have a professional property management firm that's responsible for overseeing that on a regular basis.
And you briefly mentioned that Dutch Bros and the others will have their own landscaping installed at a certain different point in time. Will they be maintaining their own property or their own landscaping, or will that be the property management?
It'll still fall within the property management. And the way that the CC&R, the way that we've designed the site, and this was a response to comments last time, is that there'll be a single landscape meter and a single landscape controller. All of the landscaping will be connected to that. And so all of the sprinklering and all the phasing of how those sprinklers get turned on will all be controlled by one entity.
Okay. Very good.
Let me just add to that, because even if, let's say, they were to sell pads 1 or 2, they still have to maintain the landscaping for the whole property as one.
Yes, we will. The one owner, if one of the parcels is sold off, then one of the retained parcel owners will retain responsibility for the entire property. And to clarify, Stephen, in terms of the final language on the CC&Rs, that we're going to be providing a draft to the city if it wasn't provided earlier today, that deals with that. Bear in mind, we have 5 parties, 4 tenants plus us, plus the city. So those final words the final language will be what's in the CC&R that
Right.
ultimately the city approves.
No, absolutely. And I know that staff will work with you directly on that, and we won't be in the nitty gritty on that, but I just wanted to put it out there and then hear it from you on the record. So I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Glad to see it back up and running. And I wish you can get it done in 7 months, 9 months, We'll be cheering for you. We want to see it succeed. And I think the mayor touched on it. Our residents want to see it. So, all right. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Coops, any question?
Yes. So by dividing the property up into different parcels like that, would that indicate that at some point you might sell those parcels off individually?
It's a possibility, and in the staff report, it mentioned that was one of the reasons for it. I would probably say the main reason is that each of the tenants under their lease has their own legal parcel, at least on the pads where they're full leased, and they're responsible for the property taxes and getting their own insurance. So it simplifies a lot of things by having a parcel that clearly delineates what they're responsible for on the property taxes and liabilities and things like that. So yes, it is possible we'll sell it off. I can't promise that we won't at some point in the future, but we have no plans to.
So you mentioned that you're going to have one water meter to service all the landscaping on the property?
Correct.
Is it one meter or one control system? Both.
1 meter and one.
One meter, one main line for just dedicated to
Just
the
landscaping.
reservoir? For the landscaping only. Does that lend to itself to a problem if you were to sell off individual lots?
No, because the way that the CC&Rs are currently written is that basically the tenants are due their pro rata share on the water usage based on how much landscaping square footage they have within their parcel.
Okay, but they'll each have their own water main meter.
Domestic meter.
Domestic
correct.
meter, and then and they each have their own electrical meter.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Just to give you an example of how slow the Edison company is. Across the street, how long was Chipotle had all their equipment in their building ready to open?
Time.
I think over 7 or 8 months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so just be aware.
Oh,
that
we are.
It'd be a tragic thing to have the project all ready to go turnkey. There's no power.
Well,
I've had horror stories as well. So yes, we're aware of how challenging that can be.
Yeah, fortunately, we were able to get a head start on that. So.
Absolutely.
I go back a long way with this project, and I count it as an honor to know you and your parents, who I met in 2011, I believe. And 2013 is when your parents passed away.
Yeah.
So they'd be proud of what you've accomplished here. I want to tell you that.
As Mr. Mayor Pro Tem mentioned earlier, let's count it when it's done.
No, I get it.
We're not taking any accolades until it's done.
They had a plan for this. This is after they were finished with the 99-cent store. I says, we're going to become, promoters and owners of this property, and they didn't have long enough to see it in fruition. I only wish they were here this evening to see what you guys accomplished, because when I saw that picture up there of what it now will look like, I mean, that's really going to perk up that whole end of Bellflower. That's what we're hoping for. And for your family to stick out their neck and buy 2 car dealerships and a Taco Bell in Bellflower, because I know you're not Bellflower people, we really appreciate your endeavors.
Well,
but
it's a great community, and seeing all the people who came up here and spoke and how passionate they are about it, we're proud to be here.
No, I count knowing your parents as one of the highlights of my life. I mean, they were just wonderful, humble people.
Oh, they always spoke very highly of you.
But I have no restrictions on this property. I want you to go forward and get it done as soon as you can. And I do take the recommendation of using our firefighters for the approval, because fire chief, that it'll be more expeditious that way.
Thank you very much for that recommendation.
All right.
Great.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. One more question. During your construction phase, when you fence off, do you plan on doing the new style of fencing off, which is where they kind of put like a decorative coming soon, those the wraps? What do they call those wraps? what is it called, Director Beth or Oba?
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap, right?
Yeah, it's a decorative
like City
wrap.
Ventures, right?
Mhm.
We'll definitely be doing some marketing,
Right.
either with signs or on the screening itself.
Yeah.
We haven't decided which, but we'll definitely do. We want it to create some buzz as we're getting closer to it.
That's where I'm getting to. All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Okay, before I invite the public for comments, do you have any question of us?
No?
No? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here from the public who would like to speak about this project?
Or ask a question?
Ask questions? Okay. Please
I
do.
want to hear somebody.
This is a very exciting project, so.
Good evening, members of the council. I too am excited about having something around the corner of my house that is easily accessible. I came to the meeting 3 years ago as well, and I'll be honest, I wasn't too happy with the idea of the bunch of drive-thrus coming to my house. But I understand what it does to the community and how it serves as a benefit. So, I kind of learned about how cities work, and this is a very great benefit to the city. The only thing I wanted to bring up to your attention is the south side of Bellflower Boulevard has no trees. The new developments are great, but even walking to them, and I live around the corner, it gets hot. One thing I wanted to bring up, I know this is a very vehicle-oriented development, but residents live behind those too. And they'd love to be able to walk there, not sweating by the time they get to Starbucks or Dutch Bros. I wanted to know if it was a possibility, if you can condition bigger trees, because I looked at the landscaping plan, and these are like trees you see in the front of a single-family home. Just something where the city has invested in fixing the streets. I know you guys added medians, you added the bike lanes to Bellflower Boulevard. It'd be great to just see landscaping, like purposeful landscaping down that corridor. Just because, when I looked at the site plan, it's about 800 feet of street frontage on Bellflower, or just on Cedar, on Ramona, and Bellflower.
So you look, Mr. Berger, be careful.
Yeah.
So you're talking about this?
Yeah, just seeing,
Okay.
instead of some of the, like, for example, closer to Ramona, instead of having a lot of small hedges and bushes and shrubs, just really adding either a larger tree or something that provides shade to the sidewalk. So when people walk, you have something that it doesn't feel like a burden having to walk in the sun, because in the summer, it gets really hot on that street. But that was the only item for consideration. Other than that, same thing, I'm excited as well.
Okay.
Thank you.
Staff can look into that. And also, just to add to your excitement, if you can stay for 2 items in the agenda, we'll be talking about more trees in Bellflower. Okay? So I'm inviting to stay. All right, thank you. So staff, can you look into that? Okay.
Yes.
Later on, okay.
Thank you.
All right, very good. Anyone else? Okay, there being none, is there a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez, seconded by Councilmember Coops, to close the public hearing. Without objection, that will be the order. All right, gentlemen, what's your pleasure?
I'll make a motion here. Consideration and possible action to conduct a public hearing, tentative MAC development review, a conditional use permit to adopt resolution number 26-14, a resolution approving tentative track MAC number TM 83476 to reconfigure 8 lots into 5 lots. Development review case number DR 9-25-6688 to allow for the construction of 4 commercial buildings ranging in size from 10,025 square feet to 5,728 square feet, and facilities, a fuel station with accessory off-site alcohol sales, and for developing lots that will measure less than 1.5 acres within the design for development for the South Bellflower Commercial Area, DFD, on real property commonly known as 17617 through 17639 Bellflower Boulevard in the city of Bellflower.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Coops, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez to adopt Resolution 26-14. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Coops,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez,
Aye.
Mayor Santenaz.
Aye. Congratulations, and let's make it happen. All right. We'll take a 5-minute health break.
Okay.
Okay. We'll be back in 5 minutes. All right. All right. We're convening the meeting, and let the record reflect that Councilmember Denton and Councilmember Morse are rejoining our meeting. Okay. Next item, item 12B. Mr. Smoot.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to hand this one off to Carla. I think she's going to take this item.
Okay. Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. Tonight, we're holding a public hearing for the fiscal year 26-27 Annual Action Plan. The Annual Action Plan serves as the city's guide on how we will use our federal funds in the coming year. And with that, I would like to introduce our housing consultant, Anna Lanou. She will be presenting the plan.
Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, council members, and staff.
Good evening.
And members of the public. My name is Anna Marie Lanou, and we are the consultants supporting the city team and help to develop this draft annual action plan for the fiscal year of 26 through 27. Just a quick reminder that the action plan outlines the city use of community development block grant funds and the home investment funds. We refer to those as CDBG and home funds in a given year. This, I believe, is your second year of your 5-year consolidated plan. The consolidated plan is a document, extensive document that was adopted and establishes your priorities and goals on basically how you're telling HUD how you will be using these funds. The CDBG funds need to meet national objectives. CDBG objectives include activities benefiting low-income residents and those that promote economic development and eliminate blight. Eligible activities include community and public facility improvements, infrastructure improvements, economic development activities, public service activities or programs, and business assistance programs. There are some limits with the funding. So of your allocation for the year plus your program income, you're limited to 20% of your program administration cap. So 20% of your budget is for that, and 15% can be used as a cap for your public services. The remaining balance can be used for your CIPs and economic development programs. So this is the expected CDBG allocation for fiscal year 26-27. Allocations were released on April 3rd, a little late this year, and the allocation will be for, let's see, $930,000 and $930,365. You have $7,200 of program income, and there is some carryover that can be reprogrammed. So for a total of $1,414,617. There is a required public participation requirement that HUD requires, and as part of your citizen participation plan, notice of funds availability was published on January 23rd. And as response to that publication and reaching out to your nonprofit organizations, you received 4 applications. 2 were for public services, 1 is an economic development program, and 1 was from Fair Housing. What's being proposed for fiscal year 26-27, as shown here, will be Fair Housing Services, which is part of your administrative requirement, of $18,000. And then for your public services, we have Kingdom Causes with the Good Soils program, which is a job creation program for $30,000. The Volunteer Center, which has been an ongoing program with the city providing volunteer training and job readiness, and which supports activities for low moderate income families. That's $109,555. $220,000 is being allocated for code enforcement activities. $168,073 is your CDBG program administration. That combined with the fair housing amount equals your 20%. $300,000 is being recommended for small business startup grant program. This will provide $25,000 grants to at least 12 businesses. And $568,989 is being recommended for public facilities and infrastructure improvements for the Town Center Plaza project. I'd like to note that this project will likely be a phased project, as the project is rather large, but you'll be able to utilize your funds moving forward. And I believe the initially there'll be a design component, this first phase, and that will lay out the remaining portion of the phases with a full budget and design layout for you. So the total amount being recommended for programming is $1,414,617. For the home entitlement funds, the objective is housing activities to retain and increase affordable housing, must serve low-income households. Eligible activities include your homeowner rehabilitation program, development of affordable housing, and home buyer activities. You also have some caps for this funding. Your allocation, you're allowed to utilize 10% for administration of the program, and you must set aside 15% for your CHOTO set-aside. Staff are recommending, so your revenue sources for the upcoming fiscal year include your allocation of $493,078. You have some program income of $1,000, and carryover that will need to be programmed from previous years is $2,311,359. So your total allowed, or total funding for programming for the upcoming fiscal year is $2,805,437. Staff is proposing that $250,000 be programmed for the continuation of the home improvement program. That's a rehabilitation program. $2,506,129 is what you have in your CHOTO set aside at the moment. And about $2 million of that is being recommended, or I'm sorry, $2 million of that is being recommended for the Willows project, with $500,000 being left set aside for a project to be determined once you garner more funds for that. Your home administration set aside is $49,308 for the total programming recommendation of $2,805,437. So a notice of your 30-day public comment period was published in the Los Cerritos Community Newspaper, and the 30-day comment period began March 27th, commencing April 27th. And did we receive any comments? Yeah, we did not receive any written comments regarding the draft plan. Recommendation for tonight would be to open the public hearing, take testimonial, and document the evidence, and after considering the evidence, adopt a resolution number 26-15, approving the fiscal year 2026-2027 annual action plan and authorizing any necessary budgetary adjustments to the fiscal year 2026-27 operating budget in accordance with the fiscal year 2026-27 annual action plan, or alternatively discuss and take other action related to this item. And I'm available to answer questions.
All right, thank you, Anna Marie, for your presentation. There's a couple of questions.
Yes.
Maybe to your staff. the set aside for the Willows project, when does that funding expire, just in case it doesn't get used? Is there an expiration?
Would you like me to answer that? I have the answer. Okay.
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 Yeah. I hope you do,
So,
because that's a big chunk of money.
yeah, so
Okay.
the way funds are utilized for home investment is you have I think you have 7 years from your allocation time to spend those dollars. So your next,
From the first allocation.
each year you have a new amount if you
Right.
don't spend it. So
Okay.
currently you're at risk of you're at risk of approximately $76,000, as that was the finance estimate, just recent estimate. So that needs to be spent by September of 2026.
this
So
year.
every September, there's going to be an amount that will be looked at that you have to spend. So anything left over from previous fiscal years, every 7
Okay.
years, that's your expiring dollars.
So once we reach September of this year and the 76,000 is not spent, that's gone.
Correct,
Okay.
but, oh, go ahead.
And what's the next
Well, we
allocation?
anticipate spending that money this year.
This year?
Yes.
By September?
Correct.
Okay.
And typically, it's the oldest money we spend first, so we get that stuff out of the way
Okay.
before it expires.
And when's the next one that will expire? Next year?
The-
So you said
uh,
every September, that something's gonna expire, right?
Correct.
And how much what amount is that next year?
Well,
We're going to look it up right now.
Oh, okay.
We'll
Okay, I'm
get
just
that
kind
for
of
you.
curious about that. Okay, and then for the home improvement, how much of that was in the last allocation? How much of that was spent?
Do you want to answer that one? Oh, it was
In the
that-
in
the
home
rehab-
improvement.
The home rehab.
How much was spent last allocation?
In the home rehab, I believe it was about 180,000.
Okay.
We did have one that fell out. So we had a $50,000 one that did fall out. So we were close to reaching that 250,000.
And are we able to carry over that 50,000?
Yes.
Oh, we do. Okay,
Yes.
that's good. So that wasn't lost.
No.
Okay.
And we have a waiting list right now of 15 households that
Oh, okay.
want,
Oh, that's
that are
good.
on that
That's good.
list.
Okay. All right.
And so I'd like to add that based on the list being there, we anticipate that you will not be losing any of your home funds. You will definitely be utilizing those funds, as well as understanding that this program that you're proposing, right, you're going to get into some agreements for those projects, and that those funds will be spent. I believe the city does a really good job of spending their funds. And so with these projects now in the queue, ready to go, you should not be at risk of losing home funds.
Let me just correct something. We're not spending money, we're investing.
Investing.
Okay.
You're
All right.
investing.
Very good. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And one question to your staff. We go to this reporting presentation every year. And this year last year we adopted a strategic plan. Are we still in alignment with this plan? The way you're presenting to us, the priorities? Are we still in alignment to that?
Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council, I believe we are. Our 5-year implementation plan works on, meets a lot of the goals that have been outlined in the strategic plan, such as economic development, as updating the look and feel of the city with the rehab program. So
Okay.
those goals are all being met that were provided for in the strategic plan.
Okay, very good. Thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor, the only thing I'd add to what Jim said, and I think Jim is absolutely correct, the only thing I would add is that as we're reviewing these types of programs, one of the things through the strategic plan you asked us to do is operate as efficiently as possible. These are one of those areas where perhaps when we're trying to use funding, for example, the CDBG funding, when we're using that for code enforcement, there's limited areas where we can do that, and we
Correct.
apply that funding into those particular areas. Sometimes, and this CDBG may or may not be a good example in that, but in some of those areas, it becomes overly burdensome for us to be able to track all of that to the point that it might be more beneficial for us to use other funding sources. All that to say that as we're doing these plans, we're starting to take a look at all those things on a regular basis to say, if we're actually going to do this, let's make sure we're doing it as efficiently as possible. And if it's costing us more to administer this than we're actually getting back by using this funding, perhaps we should use a different pot of funding. So you may see some changes in the future to some of these things, but for now, they're
okay.
absolutely aligned with your strategic
So
plan.
let me clarify this. So in terms of, let's say, compliance, is there any big difference between how the money is being spent? So for example, let's say if you're using a certain pot of money for public safety versus home improvements, are the requirements in terms of compliance, record keeping, are they very different? As an example.
Certainly, I would say, for CDBG, for example, if we're required to use that in a particular CDBG area that qualifies for this programming, when our code enforcement officer goes out to manage a case in that particular area, it has to be a very particular type of code enforcement case within a very small area of the city. And at that point, they can track all of their time associated with that and charge that back to this CDBG funding.
So the record keeping becomes very meticulous.
Correct.
Okay.
And
all right. I get
sometimes
you.
it's very beneficial for us to do that
Right,
because
right,
we can
right.
serve these areas of the community that are somewhat underserved and need that extra management.
But I see your point, because if we can use that pot of money for something else that requires less administrative burden,
And
might as
potentially
well do it.
better aligns with the city council's priorities,
I see,
then it
okay.
becomes a left pocket, right pocket.
All right,
question.
good. So it's a good examination. All right, very good. Any question of Anna Marie or staff? Okay, Councilmember Coops?
We amended things a couple years ago to include mobile homes. Is that still the case for rehab?
Yes, we still have a mobile home fix-it grant.
Are any of the 15 that we've got in the queue mobile homes?
I believe more than half are.
Oh, I had a feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you roll back the slides, 2 or 3, one where you've got a chart where you show, go back one more. There's the one. Okay, that one there. So define for me allocation, does that mean we claim that money after the project is completed, during the project? Do they give the money to us prior? Or define allocation for me. But when is this money issued? Not.
And then those funds are an
Right. So the reason I asked that, program income, I assume that would be interest earned on some of the money that's in the account waiting to be dispersed? Or how do you earn income?
back to the city, for example, that money comes back, it gets
All right, so of all the money that we have got flowing through this thing, somebody had a project that we had a refund of $1,000. Does that sound right?
It's basically at this point a placeholder because we're not sure if we're going to get anything paid back at this point. So for CDBG, we actually get rent from the kiosks. So that's program income in the case of CDBG funds. In this case, it's a bit of a placeholder because we're not sure what we're going to get.
Well, and the way I was looking at all these big, what is the income? I could put $25,000 in the bank and get $1,000 at 4%. You know, so I'm looking what are the income possibilities as to when the money arrived after, during, or before that we were looking for it. You know.
And interestingly, any program income that we get, we have to spend first. That's even before the money that we have to, that's the oldest money. That money comes in, they require us to spend that
Well,
first.
we're not getting rich off those kiosks, I know that.
No, we're not, no.
That's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember Goops. Councilmember Morse.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a quick follow-up question. I think I missed a beat with regards to future thoughts or future plans. Are we saying that we won't necessarily take the allocation and utilize it for programming, or are we saying we would just? I missed a beat. So if you can explain to me what was mentioned by the city manager.
So I think what City Manager Smoot was saying is that we just want to look at how we allocate the funds within the programs that the city has to see where we can most efficiently use that money. And it may be more staff intensive to use it for some programs than others where we can use an easier to manage source of funds for different areas.
Got it. Okay. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Danton? All right, very good. Is there a motion to open the public hearing?
All motion.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Moore, seconded by Councilmember Coops to open the public hearing. Without objection, that will be the order. All right, anyone here who'd like to speak on this very exciting item?
Riveting, yeah.
expect the gentleman in the back to speak about this, but
Move to
all right.
Second. Okay.
Motion by Councilmember Danton, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez to close the public hearing. Without objection, that will be the order. All right. Who wants to take a stab on this?
Mr. Mayor, motion to approve or to receive and file. Are we receiving
Nope,
file, right? No.
B, 12B.
12B,
12B.
adopt resolution.
Mr. Mayor, motion to adopt resolution number 16-15, a resolution approving.
26.
Am I on 12B?
Yeah, 2615.
Read the yellow paper.
All right. I motion to approve fiscal year 2026-2027 annual action plan and adopt resolution number 26-15, a resolution approving the fiscal year 2027, sorry. Annual action plan authorizing the city manager to submit AAP to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development and authorizing the city manager to take all actions necessary to implement the programs identified in the AAP.
I'll second the motion.
Motion by Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez, seconded by Councilmember Coops to adopt resolution 26-15. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Coops,
Aye.
Councilmember Morse,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez,
Aye.
Councilmember Dutton,
Aye.
Mayor Santinas.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, and congratulations, another year. All right. All right, next item, we're moving along here. Item 14A, Mr. Smoot.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'm going to hand this one off to Mr. Lee and Mr. Preciado. I believe we also have
the tree
our
guys.
consultants available for questions as well, but I'll
Mr.
let them go ahead and take this
Mr.
presentation.
Preciado, oh, I didn't.
Oh, he's got a tie on.
I didn't recognize you, Mr. Preciado. Wow, okay. Is this your first time to make a presentation here? Okay, be ready.
Yeah.
All right, Mr. Lee,
Right. Thank you, Mr.
the floor is
Smoot.
yours.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the City Council. The item for your consideration this evening is the adoption of the Urban Forest Master Plan, and subsequently to provide the city manager with direction regarding the city's urban forest regulations. We know that the Urban Forest Master Plan was a rather large document, and so in order to not repeat too much of what's already on your staff report and what's already heavily in detail in the actual plan, we kept this presentation as succinct as possible, and so we'll try to get through this as fast as possible. But we do have Mr. Preciado and staff from West Coast Arborist here to answer any questions you may have throughout and after the presentation as well. So the Urban Forest Master Plan, the city, as the City Council knows, received a federal grant from the U.S. Department of Agriculture to cover the expenses of the development of the Urban Forest Master Plan, and we're super grateful for that. At its core, when boiled down to its basics, an Urban Forest Master Plan, what it is it's a comprehensive roadmap that will serve as the city's primary tool in achieving a sustainable and equitable means of managing the city's trees. Effectively, it also takes a comprehensive assessment of the city's urban forest, provides or highlights any needs in the urban forest, and provides industry's best standards in addressing those needs. And it also serves as an educational piece for the community and the elected appointed officials and staff within the city as well. And the Urban Forest Master Plan, which I'll just refer to as the plan moving forward, is in direct alignment with the City Council's strategic plan goal number 4, which is to improve the quality of life and visual appeal in the city of Bellflower. During the development process of the plan, there were several key visions and goals that were kept in mind. There's a lot of bullet points here, but just to keep it basic, it boils down to increase the canopy citywide, and to also optimize and streamline maintenance and pruning schedules and the urban forest management standards, to strengthen community partnerships through outreach and education, and all funneling it down to obtaining the Tree City USA designation, which we are one requirement away from achieving. During the process of the development of the plan, the city, in partnership with West Coast, also put out a public survey to get a gauge for the public's perception of our urban forest and to also get their input on what is important to them in the city's urban forest. As a part of this survey, we received approximately 600 responses, majority of those who indicated that they live in the city of Bellflower. A smaller percentage also indicated that although they do not live in the city, they do visit the city frequently to visit our parks, and also they interact with our urban forest as they commute from and back from work. But the key data point from the survey was that overwhelming positive support from the community. 96% of the residents or the respondents of the survey indicated that trees are valuable to the community, and 93% of the survey respondents indicated that there were not enough trees in the city, supporting expansion of the city's urban forest. And also 1 out of 4 respondents indicated that the public trees in the city are not well taken care of. And also there's a few bullet points of the top benefits as identified by the respondents, and there were some top concerns. Top benefits including improving the environment, providing shade, enhancing environment aesthetics, and top concerns ranging from damages from trees, improper pruning, and conflicting with overhead utilities. The city of Bellflower's urban forest is very diverse. It passes the 10-20-30 rule, which suggests that out of a urban forest, no more than 10% of a single species should comprise of that entire urban forest. No more than 20% of that forest should be comprised of a single genus, and 30% consisting of coming from a single family. So Bellflower passes this test, rather diverse. However, the crepe myrtle count, as you saw in the urban forest master plan, is inching pretty close to that 10%. All in all, a diversified tree portfolio reduces the catastrophic loss from pests and diseases, and something that we would like to avoid. As a part of the urban forest master plan, there is also a comprehensive tree inventory. The city of Bellflower manages over 8,000 trees across over 11,000 tree sites. The key data point here is that approximately 30% of the city's tree sites are sitting vacant. About 3 out of 10 sites once had trees and are now missing trees there. All in all, though, the urban forest in the city of Bellflower is healthy. According to the plan, 84% of the trees are in good condition, but the plan also recommends remaining proactive in addressing the trees that are in fair condition. If something was to happen to those trees that are in their fair condition and we lost that canopy and we replace them with new trees, it would take a very long time for us to recover that canopy. Here's a breakdown from the plan provided by West Coast Arborists that breaks down the available planting sites. The available planting sites equating to vacant sites, as it was indicated in the previous slide. District 1 has the most number of vacant sites available for tree planting, and with District 4 having the least number of vacant sites available, and this can be due to several factors, as you will see in the next slide. District 1 simply has the most number of vacant sites simply because in terms of square mileage, it is just the largest. And District 4, as you saw on the previous slide, is missing, it has the least number of vacant sites. That is simply due to the fact that District 4 has the highest percentage of impervious surface, meaning it is highly covered by buildings, pavings, or concrete of some sort. And here, again, as noted, District 1, although it is, again, has the highest raw count of missing tree sites, and it does have a relatively higher tree canopy cover, sitting up there with District 3 and 5. District 4 sitting at 5.7%. That can be due to several factors. Again, high impervious surface rates, but also some of the trees in that district may just be younger, so that canopy has not had the chance to mature yet. But the citywide canopy cover is currently sitting at 6.6%. That is on the lower end compared to the benchmark of its regional comparator agencies that are surrounding us. But out of the plan recommends a goal of reaching 10% canopy. And how we get to a 10% canopy, the plan suggests several ways to get there. Approving some sort of remove and replacing of the trees, meaning if a tree is pulled out, a tree is replaced in its place in the same spot or somewhere throughout the city. Also planting 100 trees per year. assuming that there's no net loss with the remove and replace policy, and with the number of current tree vacant sites, planting 100 trees per year would take about 34 years for the city to fill all the vacant sites. Also, the plan recommends front-loading the trees ahead of time to maintain and grow canopy cover over the long run, addressing the aging and declining of mature trees. Also, to strategically plant the trees in large open spaces and parks. That is addressed in the urban forest operations section in your plan. That is section 4. And then identify tree sites and also along your major boulevards. And also, as a last component here, to encourage tree planting and care through community engagement, outreach, and education. The Department of Public Works is already overseeing the tree operations throughout the city, but the plan calls for the Department of Public Works to oversee the Urban Forest Master Plan, which includes items 1 through 6 as well, on top of whatever has been discussed so far. The tree palette, as you saw in the Urban Forest Master Plan, it was a long list that WCA and our Public Works Department put together over a long period of time through close vetting. It's basically a pre-approved list of what can be planted in the city, and it'll work in tandem with the planting plan, which effectively will serve as a how and where trees can be planted. They will also be overseeing the tree inspections, ongoing grid pruning schedules, moving to council districts, and they will also be overseeing out-of-cycle pruning that may come in from residents or through the My Bellflower app that is not a part of the regularly scheduled pruning schedule. And Public Works will also be in charge of the community education and outreach component as well. So following the adoption of the Urban Forest Master Plan, assuming that the City Council moves to adopt it tonight, when forest master plans are adopted, cities usually follow up by adopting some sort of urban forest regulation to be codified in the municipal code. Or if they already have such regulations, they go ahead and update that regulation. Bellflower currently does not have that regulation, and if the City Council moves to provide the city manager guidance in some sort of urban forest regulations that will meet the final requirements for the Tree City USA designation, which is also a goal for the Urban Forest Master Plan and something that has been indicated to us by the City Council in the past. Thankfully for the city, Arbor Day Foundation provides varying frameworks for the cities to use when piecing together an urban forest regulation or some sort of tree care ordinance, and it ranges from various levels from basic, intermediate, and advanced regulations. This is directly from the Arbor Day Foundation's website. For the Tree City USA requirements that must be included in the tree care ordinance or the urban forest regulations, number 1, there needs to be an assigning of authority over responsibility for the care of public trees through the establishment of a tree board, department, or both, the department being Public Works. The second requirement will be to provide clear guidance for planting, maintaining, and or removing trees from streets, parks, and other public spaces, and the ordinance must always be in effect. Taking the template from the Arbor Day Foundation, so the titles up here are all included in the template provided by the Arbor Day Foundation. As you noticed in the previous slide, these all do not have to be in the tree care or the urban forest regulations, but I just thought that I would piece something together at the basic level that was provided by the Arbor Day Foundation. Effectively, as if the city was to adopt something at the basic level, we would authorize, or the City Council would authorize the Director of Public Works or his designee to oversee this ordinance, and there will be a level of tree preservation where no person can remove or replace or prune a public tree without written approval from the Director of Public Works. There's the Arbor Day Foundation also recommends some level of tree protection during construction, which is not a requirement for Tree City USA designation. There's also a recommendation for mitigation that has some level of requirements for replacement, such as was outlined in the Urban Forest Master Plan, such as the remove one and replace one, and of course with some exemptions. There's also planting standards in tree management that provides general standards and requirements for tree quality and size and planting location, planting practices, general maintenance, and enforcement authority. The tree planting standards and tree management can just refer directly to the Urban Forest Master Plan, just to keep it simple. But one of the things that we do see in typical cities is there is also some level of enforcement on the urban forest regulation as well, just so that we have some teeth into what the city is trying to push. But of course, that is fairly basic. The Arbor Day Foundation, they provide a range of basic, intermediate, and advanced. Just as a way of reference, all the immediate cities touching Bellflower, they adopt what's at the basic level of the Arbor Day Foundation's suggestions. And staff's recommendation is to keep it basic for the city of Bellflower as well. As you also saw in the Urban Forest Master Plan, 80% of the city of Bellflower is impervious surface. Bellflower is more urban than forest. And so it may not be prudent to adopt the same regulations as such cities as somewhere like Irvine or East Palo Alto or Big Bear or of some kind. And this is wordy, but just to narrow this down here, the basic option is sufficient to meet the needs of the city of Bellflower. It avoids the city of Bellflower tying its hands to adopting something that is rather restrictive, but it also preserves flexibility for the future. Mayor Pro
may I
Tem.
ask a question? Okay. Can you go back to your previous slide when you say, I just want to make sure, which ones are not included in the basic template? In your basic policy recommendation?
I think they all are. It's just our choice, right? That's the way I took it.
Yeah, that's the way I'm taking it too, but I just want to confirm. These are the basic ones?
These are the basics.
I like it.
If I can interject, in some cities, they're so restrictive. So for example, let's say a city would require any tree that has a 6 inches in diameter, the trunk is, you need to get a permit to take it down. There's some cities like that. So that's very restrictive.
So Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez, so this is slightly wordsmithed from the basic template provided by the Arbor Day Foundation. When the city comes to propose an ordinance, it will be substantively the same, but it'll be more worded like a tree care ordinance.
Okay, so you're gonna bring this back to us.
Oh, yes. So cities, we're seeking guidance.
Are you seeking? Okay, great.
We're seeking guidance from the
Okay,
city
that was my
council.
next question. All right, perfect. So will we have a conversation about which ones or whatnot today?
I think he's asking for guidance.
Okay, all right.
So they can write the ordinance.
Got it.
Look, I really like the one you replace a tree within 90 days. It was on there was the fourth column over.
That's basic, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that ain't happened in decades.
I mean, basically, ours is gonna beat the 90 days, though.
Really?
It's going to, Councilmember, we're gonna do the 1-in-1, so as soon as we remove one,
Well, the
we
dirt's
have
soft.
already actively, from your guys' recommendation and Public Works Directive, we are replacing them we are adding them to the list for a replacement as soon as we remove them.
Great.
And we've been doing that for the last year and a half now, if not longer.
My next question is this on citywide, or is this only on the easements, city easements?
This will be.
Oh, no, citywide.
Citywide.
Citywide, within the city's public right of way. Your question is public property versus
private property versus private property.
No, this is not private property.
Only public.
Okay.
Public right of way.
Thank you. That's public right of way.
It'll include all our parks, all our facilities, all our right of ways.
Okay.
Some cities do kind of impede into the private properties, but the Arbor Day Foundation's basic level keeps it at the public.
No, that's a whole
No,
nother.
I wouldn't recommend that
Yeah,
for
that's,
insurance purposes.
And I wasn't ready for that kind of a conversation. That's why.
Now, keep in mind, the master plan does, though, speak to private property businesses and asks for the involvement and then, of course, inclusion of tree canopy.
Right. Just like the development today.
Right.
It's a good example of that.
Right, and I would encourage baby steps, right? I mean, encouragement first, then let the city take the lead first, and then, we can look into that further. But
Your district's all concrete anyway.
well, I know. Well, I'm gonna get my 300 real quick.
367.
All right, Mr. Wangsu, Lee, are you finished with the presentation? Let's. Okay.
So I could wrap it up there. But
Okay.
staff's
Perfect timing.
So staff's recommendation is to adopt the Urban Forest Master Plan and provide the city manager with direction regarding the city's urban forest regulations, or alternatively, discuss and take other actions related to this item. That wraps up the presentation, and we're here to answer any questions you may have. West Coast Arborist is here as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Lee and Mr. Preciado, and appreciate the work of West Coast Arborist, that's WCA. The work they did is shown here. There's a lot of work, lots of details. There's a couple of questions for you. I was kind of not too pleased with our inventory. It shows that crepe myrtle is almost 10% of our tree inventory. And talking with our residents here, the most loved tree based on my survey is crepe myrtle because of the flower that they give. Anyway, but that's just a side note. In terms of the top 10, so if we were to follow the recommendation of the 10, 20, 30 rule, the minimum number of species we're going to have is 10, correct? 10 species for the whole city, at least 10.
This is correct.
Okay. So, in your opinion, what would those 10 species going to be? If you were to have a map today, a clean slate, what would they be? What's your top 10?
So basically, the top 10 is going to really rely on where those trees are going to go, right? So according to, in collaboration with WCA Arborists, they've shared with us 12 different trees that are going to help us with we increase our canopy size. And with that, you got blue alder, Chinese pistache, coast live oak, a red flowering gum, and Australian willow, and a couple others, which grow a large canopy. So in those cases, those are going to be mostly in parks, islands, or something that parkway that's 7 foot wide. The other ones are not going to fall underneath that category. And when you look at the list, it is an extensive list, but then we do break it down according to the planting area, the size of the planting area.
So you're not suggesting, let's say, Australian willow in public right of way at this time? You want it in parks, in big parks?
Australian willow does fall within the 5 and 7 foot parkway area.
Okay, so they can be.
They can be, correct. They will be managed a lot different than they have in the past. But yes, it can be placed in some parkways.
Do we have any eucalyptus in Bellflower?
We do have quite a few eucalyptus in
But
Bellflower.
not in the public right of way?
We do have some in the public right of way.
Some are, okay.
Yeah, they're deep rooted. They do very well in some areas, but of course not under under wires. We do have some under wires, which SCE has destroyed or topped, and unfortunately have caused some trees to it's declined the health. So we gotta really determine where those are going to be planted at.
Okay, very good.
Or restrict where they're planted, especially that tree.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because in my other life, processing claims, eucalyptus is one of the most infamous cause of breakage. They really fall easily. They break, branches break, and they damage cars.
This is correct. There's good places for them.
Right.
For instance, the one we just planted this past weekend.
Correct. Okay, very good. Okay, so in terms of maintenance, let me go back to the, there was a slide that shows if we plant 100 trees every year, plant new trees, 100 new trees, is that right?
It takes 30 years.
Correct.
It takes 30 years. How much money did we put in the budget this year for new trees? Because I remember we added a line item for new trees, not replacement, brand new trees.
The city council approved $100,000 per year just for new tree
Okay.
planting.
So how much does it cost to plant one tree?
That varies depending on the species, but on average,
On
it's about
average.
400.
The average
So-
is 400.
So with that, basically, it's going to be 250 trees per year, not 100, correct?
So,
So we
yeah.
can accelerate that.
Mayor and council members, just to back up, when we talked about the 100 trees, when you guys brought that up, I think we took that as the minimum that we were trying to do here. Our goal is always going to be to do more than 100 trees, but I think from our discussions of budget, that's what we started talking about was 100 trees, and we took that as the bare minimum that we would do. So you couple that with our 1-to-1 ratio on the replacements, plus the bare minimum, we're always going to be over 100 trees. I would almost gather that we would be closer to 200 to 300 trees here in the next couple years at the rate that we're trying to get them planted right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I'm anticipating about 250 brand new trees, not replacements, to be added every year. So that's about right.
Correct.
So that will take us about 12 years.
Yes, but I mean the replacements, or let's just call them like the vacant sites that we see on the arterials.
Mhm.
You know, we're planting those sites. Those are it's an existing site, may not have had a tree in it for a couple years, but the goal is to get all those vacant sites, and that's one of the things we've been working on the last month and a half here in the Public Works Department, is trying to fill all the vacant wells on the arterials and stuff. So those are brand new trees. So there's 100 trees, and then if we are able to grab another couple hundred trees just on the arterials, then, you know, we're going to be well above the 100 minimum trees that we're trying to do.
Okay, very good.
Just this year alone, if I may, Mayor.
Sure.
We already planted 95 trees along the bike trail.
Already.
And there's a couple more that need to be planted there also, replanted, in fact. And our main focus that Len has directed us to start with, since we've already completed that section, is, like he said a minute ago, the tree well. So that alone is going to also kick us well into the 200, if not more, including any other trees that we need to replace as the year continues.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, during the budget session, we asked you to report to us, back to us, the difference between replacement of new cuttings versus new trees, to make sure we are on track of this. All right. So we're going to be planting new trees. So what are our plans to maintain these trees? Because I realize that the first 2 years are very critical, new plantings. What's our plan to maintain, to make sure that these are basically watered and maintained, especially, again, the first 2 years?
Yeah, so the first 3 years are
3 years,
extremely
okay.
important. We must maintain newly planted trees. It's a tree care program that we, Public Works, is engaging in a contract now with, I believe it's going to be Good Soils, if I'm not mistaken, and they're going to help us out with that ploy. It's extremely important to, one, water them, as you're stating, and then two, also care for them while they're maturing, to get rid of the tree stakes and improve the girth of the tree.
Okay, very good.
But with that too, we're also looking at gator bags to assist with watering also. And gator bags, if you haven't seen them yet, those get attached to specific trees that don't have the best water sources or irrigation. So that bag alone will hold water, and it'll slowly water the trees that need it that don't have any kind of water source next to them or adjacent to them.
Okay, all right. And also, I just want to make sure that the listening public know about this. Last Saturday, we celebrated Arbor Day, and thanks to West Coast Arborists and our staff, we planted 2 new trees at the North Park of the Bellflower.
So now we're at 97 trees.
We're at 97.
Yeah, that was fun. I got a question here, Mr. Smooth, and maybe Parks and Rec. We're forming a foundation for Parks and Rec. Is there something that we can add so that we can have donations made for new trees? So I was thinking of someone who would like to do, in memory of someone, things like that, make a donation for a tree. Is it something that we can do about it? Can we tag it to with, I don't want to form a new foundation. That's a lot of paperwork. Can we kind of merge into...
You mean, can the foundation accept some sort of donation?
Donation.
to allow
So for
that
example,
to
let's say,
happen?
I want to donate 1 tree in memory of someone else. Something like that.
Kristen can probably go into some of our specifics as to how we do
Okay.
that. My general answer would be yes, but I'll let Kristen go.
Well, I
into
want to make
detail.
sure that we were okay with that.
Good evening. We do have a program called A Tree Grows in Bellflower, where you can dedicate a tree to a loved one. We have the option of dedicating an existing tree or planting a new one, and there is a difference in the price to donate an existing tree is about $200. To donate a new tree is about $600. And that includes a cement plaque that holds a plaque in it.
okay.
And we have a lot of those at Carruthers Park. You'll see those. So we do offer that program if anyone's interested.
Is that for the foundation? Is it tax that, are the donations tax deductible?
That's a good question.
Carl may
Maybe
jump
we-
in if
maybe we can
necessary,
look
but
into that,
generally,
you know.
in that instance, as a municipal corporation, I believe a donation to the city, if accepted by the city council, would be tax deductible, would it not?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, it's a nonprofit corporation. There's actually an Internal Revenue Code section that specifically allows you to make tax deductions based upon donations.
So
to the
those
city.
donations are tax deductible. Okay, awesome. Okay, so we have the mechanism now.
We do. Anyone that's interested can contact Parks and Recreation, and we'll send them the
Can we
information.
publicize that in our website?
Yes.
Because I don't know about this.
Yeah.
Well, in the past, the service clubs have planted trees, and that's what you alluded to at
Oh, okay.
Crothers. Yeah.
It's been a while, I think.
Yeah, it's been a
Right, it's
decade
been a
at
while.
least.
So if we can,
Or two.
Mr. Smoot, if we can put it in our website.
Just something forgot about it.
Certainly.
Yeah. Okay, all right, very good, thank you. Any question of Mr. Lee or Mr. Preciado or West Coast Arborist? Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez?
I don't have.
You're itching
Well,
to.
yeah, I'm itching to it.
to ask.
First of all, I'm glad that we're having this conversation. I think the five of us were in agreement when we, made the motion to begin this process. For me, I think I'm just going to rip off the Band-Aid. There's a couple of things that I think we have to discuss. I think that I don't know about you guys, but a 30 to 37 year plan. I think I would be 67. I mean, or 70 something at that point in time.
I'd be 115.
Yeah, yeah. So I just don't feel.
I'd be fertilizer.
No, it's been cut to 12
You'd
years.
be under the tree, Ray.
No, it's been cut to 12 years, right?
No,
No?
no, I don't.
You want to
think so.
establish a number, say 300?
Yeah, I think.
You want to?
I think I want to bump this up and be a little bit more aggressive. On the replacement side, I'd like to go 3 to 1, or 1 to 3, and then to a start till we get to the 10% goal. After that, we can switch to 1 to 1 if we need to. The goal right now is to get us to 10% canopy citywide, and we're averaging about 6.5 in most cities, 6.6 in citywide. Obviously, some areas, some districts, District 4, have harder issues on getting
It's
to
all
10%.
concrete.
Yeah, it's all concrete. But anyways, the citywide should be at least 10%, and I think that for us to get there, because that's the goal, right? I think we need to be a little bit more aggressive. And I think we can do things like the foundation, like you're saying.
Let's clarify that.
Be creative.
Mr. Gurecki, can you clarify about I'm kind of not clear about the budget that we had. My understanding is we have set aside money for replacement of trees that are cut during the year. On top of that, we added $100,000 for new trees that are not being cut on the same year. That's my understanding. Can you confirm that? If that's
Well, so the normal, our normal operations, our normal contract with West Coast Arborists contains provisions for planting trees. So that's in our contract already, and as it comes up and we need to plant them, we plant them. In addition to that, the council at budget time allocated an additional $100,000 to plant more trees. At that point in time, the what I considered to be like the minimum, the least amount of trees we could plant was the 100 tree number that was discussed. So obviously $100,000 allows us to plant more than 100 trees when you just take the dollars for dollars with it. So in addition to our normal contract with WCA, which includes all the pruning, the trimming, and the planting, in addition to that, you guys allocated more money to plant more trees.
Okay, so what's the most expensive tree? Because earlier you said average of 400.
Yeah, I would say on the average, because typically the most typical we plant is 24-inch box tree. Sometimes we go a little smaller if we have a smaller footprint, but that tends to be the average. And like Frank had mentioned, those are right around $450 as part of the current contract to plant those trees.
Yeah, okay. So my understanding here is the 100 trees is very, very conservative number. That's the minimum. Most likely, we're going to be in the 200 range, correct?
Yeah.
So if that's the case.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I'll read it. 100, the 100 number I took as the bare minimum, the least amount that you guys would want me to plant in a year. We are obviously shooting for a much higher number than that. We'll probably finish this year out. Once we get the arterials in, we'll probably have another 100 in the ground by the end of the year.
So I think what we need to do here is just like what we agreed to. We expect a report from Public Works at the end of the year, and then we'll make evaluation after that if
Yeah.
we need to put more money. So
Right, I understand that, Mr. Mayor, and I think the goal here is to amend the recommendation of 1-to-1 on the removal replacement, and modify that language to basically say it's 3-to-1 or 1-to-3, sorry, until we meet the 10% canopy goal.
Yeah, so
That could be instead of 30 something years, it could be, we can get there in 12 years, to your point. We cut that into a third, pretty much, or a little less than a third. So like 10 years instead of waiting to 30 years. Does that?
because my understanding is it's going to be accomplished somehow because of $100,000 a year at an average of $400 per tree, that's 250 brand new trees, not
Right.
not a replacement of what was cut.
But that's not what I heard today. And I don't know, did anyone else hear that? I mean, I heard
Let's clarify
it's going
the-
to take 30 years to 37 years.
Well, I think based on the 100 trees, they're being very conservative.
I understand.
Yeah,
I think, Mayor,
sure.
I think we all probably have, not thinking of what, we all have, we would like to celebrate. We know it's
Of
been a
course.
long time. I think we're all there. But I think, get me if I'm, Public Works, answer me if I'm wrong, but I think you're trying to gear up to get this done. And you're still trying to invent how we're gonna maintain them, was what I heard with the gator bag versus the, getting the system with good soils to help out, I don't, do you ever take the water truck around anymore, or is that we're past that?
We don't even
Yeah,
have
the-
that
we-
truck
The
no
water
more.
truck doesn't exist anymore.
We have a water trailer, I guess.
Yeah, so as part of the grant, one of the things we done was budgeted, the grant that we put together was budgeted for a water trailer.
Water trailer. Okay.
Yes.
So if that's the feeling, we can just kind of, give staff direction. But I see you wanted something written in the document of 3-to-1 or something like that. I don't know what that.
And I think it's more so till we get to that goal.
Right.
Right, till we get to 10%.
Member Sanchez, if I may.
Yes.
The one, when we take one out
Mm-hmm.
and we replant that, that's not gonna be an issue because we're already dealing with that member, that property owner there. If we then gotta locate 2 other locations to put 2 more trees.
their front
We
yard,
gotta
yeah.
try to engage that with the neighbors who may not be totally on board yet. But I think through this practice and especially the implementation of this, it'll help educate property owners to then start getting a hold of us, and then they will increase that number.
Right, but maybe I'm not articulating my thoughts properly. We have a vacancy of, can you put back that slide with the vacancy numbers? So we have 3,243 locations that are vacant.
This is correct.
So we don't have to find.
You are absolutely right. And those vacancies are out there. It's still the property owner, even though it's a public right of way, we want them to have full buy-in.
Right.
So that the life of that tree has a better chance of living. Otherwise, you're gonna find some POs, we drop it here or there, wherever we see a vacant site. Eventually, we're gonna get there. We'll educate the
point.
property owners and business owners to where they now understand that these trees are coming in. I just left the site this
education.
afternoon where a property owner is asking to have a tree removed. Unfortunately, it didn't meet the criteria, but I did share with them the practice that'll take place should that time come. But then the neighbor was the one that was talking to me about that, and I shared with that neighbor, by the way, want to share with you that we're creating a planting plan, and eventually you are going to end up having to have a tree. to my surprise, they said, hey, I want one now. So that was perfect. That worked great.
Perfect.
To write that in there like that, I think that would be a little difficult. We can manage it, but we just have to be, I think it's going to be a little bit of time before we can get there with the
So
with
do
the
you
public.
want more time to bring this back? I'm hearing 33 to 37 years, 40 years before this is done.
We can,
No, I don't.
we can
So-
amend it anytime.
Yeah,
Hold on, guys.
Honorable Mayor and council members, let me, I guess, clarify something real quick. So the 10% goal of the tree canopy is citywide. That's inclusive, that's everything inside the borders. We have no control over the private property. Now, they account for a lot of the existing tree canopy, but we only have so much public right-of-way space that we can plant in. So the growth or the process to get to that 10%, we're it's not like I have 6.2 square miles of all property that the city owns that we can just start dumping trees into. That's why that's one of the reasons why it lengthens out over such a long period of time. I mean, we're shooting for the filling of 3,200 vacant sites, and even if we went aggressive and we tried to hit a number that Councilmember Sanchez is saying, 300, 400 trees, that's still putting us at 10 years just to get the vacant sites filled.
That's my point. That's exactly my point.
There's two issues, a canopy issue,
Right.
which I just got what Lynn said. That's a goal that's going to be hard to achieve. But the other problem is the 3,000 vacant tree wells.
Right, and
Well,
I want
Yeah.
to fill those up
Yeah.
as quickly as
Right.
Yeah,
possible.
but the canopy will be, okay, over time,
Yeah.
the canopy is going to be bigger.
See, Victor was
Yeah,
talking canopy
initially-
at first, but he needs
Yeah,
to
it's
be
gonna happen
saying
right
tree
away,
wells.
because trees has to grow and create the canopy.
Yeah, eventually, yeah.
Well,
Eventually.
and
That's
that's why I'm
30-some
saying
years,
if
yeah.
if we're planning, even with us budgeting and we're budgeting for 100 trees, right? And okay, yes, we're planning more than that ideally, and I know that we're being conservative, staff's being conservative, and I get that there's manpower constraints, there's other issues, and we got to figure that out if we need to make amendments. But if we're trying to achieve the goal of whether it's to at least fill all these vacancies, and to your point, it's going to take a lot of time for the canopy to actually get coverage because it takes forever for them to
Right,
grow.
uh-huh.
That means even more reason why we need to be more aggressive up front.
Yeah, but my point here is this is our first year to go to this accelerated process. I think what we need to do is give staff time to adjust to this new method of planting trees. And of course, if they're successful, next year we can add more. But I just don't want to put some money, give to them the money that they cannot use because the infrastructure is not there to do it right away. I mean, we have to take care of maintenance. They need to talk with Good Soil Industries and things like that. I mean, I'm not saying that we should not do it. What I'm saying is let's continue the process, and then after the first year of this budget cycle, they're going to give us a report, and then we can make adjustment after that. If you want to throw $500,000, whatever the number is, because I just want to make sure that staff is given the time and the resources to do the job correctly and successfully. And I just don't want to put lots of money that they cannot use in the first place because there's no manpower to do it.
Mr. Mayor, a couple of things. Number one, it is 10:49, or I'm sorry.
Oh.
That clock is wrong. It's 10:38.
Oh.
Our city clerk is reminding me that you guys have to vote to go past 10:30.
Okay.
Number two, as it comes to the question at hand of the trees here, the goals in this plan, keep in mind, like any plan, can be changed at any point you all want to change them. They are simply goals. We are already exceeding these goals, or at least on track to exceed these goals. In fact, I think we're probably pretty close to accomplishing what you want to accomplish. We can take direction from you separate from this plan. If you all want to provide that direction now or in the future, we can take that direction anytime you'd like to give it to us. My recommendation to you would be, when it comes to a plan like this, let's set a goal that's achievable so that when we go to actually achieve those things, when we go to get the Tree City USA designation that Mr. Lee will be applying for, we can say we're meeting these goals within this plan. In fact, we're exceeding these goals. I'd rather be able to say we're exceeding those goals than we haven't hit the goal that we've set that's too high for ourselves. Add to that, think of paving streets across the city. If we were to go through and pave all of the streets across the city at one time in 1 year and designate all of the money necessary to do that at one time, 20 years from now, we'd have to do that same thing all over again. Trees are no different. If we went and planted all these trees within a very short period of time, 20, 25 years ago, as we go to maintain those trees, we're building a maintenance problem for ourselves down the road. If we're able to plan these things out effectively over a window of time, we build maintenance into that over that same window of time in the future. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All that to say, my recommendation would be we go forward with this plan. If through the budget process you guys want to add and say we want to go even further than we're going, we'd be more than happy to take that direction. I'm sure Frank and Len would be more than happy to take that from you guys.
Okay, but first of all, we want to take care of business. Is there a motion to continue the meeting past 10:30?
Move it.
Second.
Okay, motion by Councilmember Danton, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez, to continue the meeting past 10:30. Without objection, that will be the order. Okay. Are you okay?
Why don't we do this? This is just an idea.
Okay.
Continue what we're doing here, and if we choose to adopt this urban forest thing, do it, but with the direction of staff to come back in 6 months and give us a report of how they're doing. And they obviously know how we feel, that we would like to do more trees if we can. Who knows? They might nail it.
Hold on. They're going to report to us by the end of sometime in July. That's the first year of the budget. They have to report to us already.
Okay, well then they'll know something by then, yeah.
It's sooner.
Do that then.
It's
We
sooner.
got good numbers for you guys already.
Exactly. That's what I'm getting
Yeah.
at.
And
We
then-
expect to report every year
Right.
to us.
Yeah.
Since we put additional $100,000. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we can
And-
adjust it, and
and we
then,
can-
then with their report, we'll be able to, adjust if we need
Yeah, if we
necessary.
want to
We
double
go
it
with that.
or, depending
But
on the.
maybe we, with their direction, maybe, I think, when you were talking canopy and your age and all that, maybe it was the tree wills. To me, it's the tree wills, filling the tree. Remember Dan was going down the road, it's Dan's
Tree
fault
wills,
we're
yeah.
doing
Right,
this.
right.
Because Dan had the idea, hey, you know how many tree wills are empty on the way to City Hall for this meeting? Remember?
3,443.
They're full now.
And then we were shocked. And that's why we're here and spending money.
Well, I got a question
Okay,
for
go ahead.
Len. Len, so your staff would not be doing maybe Frank's going to lay it out where we go and give that information to WCA, correct?
Correct.
And then we're trying to do a deal with Kingdom Causes, Good Soils, that they would maintain the watering of the trees, correct?
Correct.
So this would have no impact. If we do 200 trees in a year or 300, it's not going to impact you at all. It's just a matter of making a phone call to WCA and say, this is what we need. Is that right?
Not
there more to it
not
than-
completely. So as part of the grant, the 3-year the funding for the maintenance plan, and mind you, the grants, on life support as it is right now because of the granting agency, they're in federal flux, as we say. But the original grant description that we wrote was inclusive of planting trees and a 3-year maintenance program, and that was to use to use Good Soils to help us with that maintenance program. So that's still the intention. We would certainly use them. We use them for a lot of our minor landscaping that we do right now, and any way that we can continue on with that process, especially bringing this many trees back into the city would be helpful. But again, the maintenance of it, we haven't really gotten to that point yet. We have a plan on paper. We just haven't necessarily put it into to action yet because we're just not at those numbers for this plan.
Now, Frank mentioned that he's done, how much, 30 trees on the walking right away? He gave me a number.
No, 95.
95.
Yeah.
All right, and that's wonderful. Now, based on when the light rail's coming, is that really best time to be doing that? Because we're going to lose all those trees when the light rail comes, correct?
No,
Are they going to move them in the pods?
The bike trail, the walking path, and everything on the south side, that's to remain in place.
Okay, so they can put the train line in and still have the trees there.
Yeah, there may be some issues right at the road crossings where they may have to move a tree or two, but they're in they're in, wells. We'll
Okay.
we'll just move them different location.
Okay. But, if, I like what Ray said, why don't they know what we're thinking, now they want to adjust this.
At this time.
And Victor and I spoke earlier about how, when no one wants to wait 30 years. We want to kick it in gear. And if I had to throw an extra, $100,000 is a lot, but it's not a lot. And if we're getting a lot for our money for 100, then I would vote at the appropriate time, give them an extra 100. Then we're going to be up to 400, 500 trees. But Len's got to get his act together on who's going to maintain them.
Exactly. That's the whole. Give them a chance to set up their system to do it. All right. I have one minor suggestion here. Instead of calling it District 1, 2, 3, 4, because it doesn't really perfectly align with districts, right?
Yeah, it's a little, they rounded off the corners or something.
Can we call it Grade 1, Grade 2?
What difference does that make?
Well, because it's not district.
They're not exact
it's not-
districts.
Well, I just don't want my trees going in Victor's area.
Exactly. So it could be confusing.
All right, let's
So
have
just call it grade
Yeah,
or
'cause they-
something other than districts. Because for
Obviously,
example, let's say,
yeah.
look at this point here.
Yeah, they
I
they
mean,
squared it off.
Here one, it's very complicated between 1 and 2.
I get it.
It's not perfect.
Well,
so,
then, if Mr. Mayor, I want to tackle another item when you're ready.
okay.
My math isn't as quick as yours, Mr. Coops. So, for example, in District 4,
Grade 1, grade 4.
okay, Grid 4, you have 5.7%, right, canopy? In the other districts, you have 6.7 or 6.5, and the one has 7. How many trees is that approximately?
Let's look at,
How big they are.
there's also a chart.
Oh, I know. Well,
Show the chart where
trying
the
to make a
missing
point.
trees are. There you go.
trying to make a point.
But Wendy's got a missing.
She's got a missing
1,000
1,000, but she still has a higher rate coverage. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
those trees are bigger.
Well, I know. That's what I'm saying. So what I'm getting at is I need some love in District 4 or Grid 4.
Grid 4.
Grid 4. I want some priority.
Oh, no.
I want some priority there.
Let's go back to the previous slide.
You got to get me into the
This one here.
sixes.
I would suggest make it proportionate to this, so we grow together. If
Well, you got to
district-
catch up, District 4.
Eventually, we will, because for example, let's say grade 1 needs 1,078 trees, total of 3,000. If we plant 1 in every 3 in that year, and then
Yeah, she'll
And
be
so-
she'll be 15% canopy. I'll be 7% canopy.
You only need like 250 trees to catch up.
I know that's my point.
That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
You'll be the fastest to catch up here.
I want. That's what I want. I want to
No,
catch up.
it's not fair to grade 1 though.
Mayor Pro Tem
It's gonna take them
Sanchez,
a long time.
one of the components that out of the urban forest master plan is a tree palette. Out of there are some trees there that typically grow faster with larger canopies. So District 4, we can also get strategic on planting that type of tree in that
There you
area.
go.
All right.
And
Good idea. That's a good idea.
Give him the ficus
Yeah.
trees.
Ficus.
Oh, ficus.
but,
Ficus and Australian willow.
Oh, ficus.
And give grade 1 the crepe myrtle. Okay, any other question?
No.
All right, the public, do you have any comment about this
There's
very
our-
important subject matter?
There's our landscape guy.
All right, tell us about good
Good
soils.
almost morning.
Oh, no,
Honorable
no,
Mayor
no.
And council members and awesome staff here. I probably should have come up here a few times tonight, and I have been encouraged and honored to be a part of Bellflower. Just once again, in this council meeting, I appreciate y'all, your awesome staff. I've gotten to know a lot of y'all over the few years that I've been here. My family's lived here. I love trees. My kids love trees. So here in the master plan and seeing it come in place and all the hard work I know amongst you've been putting in this for many years, and the rest of y'all, that here is great. The safety aspect that you guys care for our city and with our Beast team and things that are going, just community involvement and engagement, as well as your initiative to help the least of those that are around our city, are all things that are very dear to my heart. And I've seen this only increase over the 3 years that I've been here, and I'm grateful that you guys have entrusted KCB and GSI with actually parts. I'm realizing as I look at all these slides and all of these things, and I hope that you have seen fruit of that trust and resources. And we are excited and encouraged to continue to be a part of the work that you are doing here and want to just be good neighbors with y'all. So thank you very much for all of your hard work and all of your time and efforts and how much you guys care. I'm grateful as a citizen, but also as a father and as a husband to be a part of Bellflower. So thank you.
You need a tree in front of your house?
I want to get 4 of whatever Victor's getting.
So, Andrew, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
What do you think of the plan?
I like it. I mean, I like the idea of the plan. I like the let's do it as quick as possible. The gentleman that was here earlier talking about the plan that's actually right across from where I live. I'm right there off of Rose and Bellflower Boulevard. I would agree that a lot of times I want to go for walks with my kids, but we're very strategic, and we'll cross the street in certain areas to try to hit trees and stuff. So I think the idea is we get more trees in our city. We're going to have more of the community awareness that the other lady was asking for here. Like a lot of this stuff I think will come as we're implementing more and more of these things. So I'm excited.
Okay.
Of the hopefully next 10 years and kind of going through.
Yeah, all right, that's the goal. Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. All right, any more question? What's your pleasure?
Can we move to adopt the Urban Forest Master Plan?
Is that a motion?
Yeah, it's a motion.
Oh, I'll second it.
Motion by Councilmember Morse.
As discussed.
Seconded by
As discussed.
seconded by Councilmember Danton to adopt the Urban Forest Master Plan as discussed. Wait a minute. We have one more item to give staff direction.
I thought we were just
Are you
doing
okay
that.
with
I think we did that.
the
I
ba-
thought we were just doing that.
The basic, right?
Yeah.
Are we
the
going with the
basic.
basic? Okay, just make sure.
Yeah,
basic.
I think they have direction. They're going to use, I would say, use the professional of the workforce to decide how to tailor those recommendations that were up on there. You know, with all the, and I'm sure there's other cities that have done this.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't have to do them all. You gotta just this is it's a template. They got to go through the template to. I guess that's what that is, right?
Yeah, you'll have the direction I think we've gotten is to take as basic an approach as we can when we bring you back that ordinance. You'll have an opportunity when we bring that back to discuss it in as much detail as you like.
Okay, very good.
I
So
got
that's-
one more question. Len, what happened to the green Mexicans or whatever you had?
The green Latinos.
That's it. That was a precursor to this,
They
right?
finished.
They're off the
They
table.
got paid.
We got paid and they're done, right?
No,
They got the grant.
They're the
They get the wrong color or the wrong nationality?
no. They're the Green Latinos
Okay.
is the granting pass-through agency, the NGO that was
In flux.
created. Yeah, that we have to deal with. But yeah, they basically are the pass-through agency through the federal grant that we received.
All right, so they're still involved.
Yes.
And we got our 41,000 that they owed us.
So Councilmember Coops, just to chime in
we owed
on
them.
Mr. Gurecki. So the grant that you're talking about was a total of $1 million. We came to the city council.
Right, but we didn't spend it all.
Yeah, so as of right now, we've been reimbursed $78,900 out
Okay.
of the $80,000 expected to be
So we're looking for
incurred.
$2,000.
And so when the rest of it is billed by WCA, we'll report and send that reimbursement to the Green Latinos. We have ongoing meetings with them. I do think Green Latinos is in limp mode. They will
What does
continue.
that mean?
They're functioning, but they're limping.
Are they on hospice?
They
Because no more projects,
so
right?
so they'll come back and say, "Hey, things look better, but we will not send you anything in writing that there is certainty around this." What we can do is hope for the best. But as for the Urban Forest Master Plan, we did receive 99% of it back. So
Okay. Thank you. That's
All
all I
right,
had.
very good. Okay, thank you so much. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Coops?
Aye.
Councilmember Morse?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez?
Aye.
What an enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Councilmember Dutton?
Aye.
Mayor Santinez?
Aye. Yeah, enthusiasm here. All right. Consent calendar. Any recusals?
Oh, yes.
Oh,
All
yes.
right.
I'm recused on 15C, D, and E.
C,
All
D, and
our
E.
property conflicts.
Okay, City Clerk. you got
And
that?
Mayor, I'm recused on 15E.
15E for Councilmember Danton. Okay. Councilmember Coops.
I'm out on 15C
15C.
and 15H.
H. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez, any recusals? Okay. All right. Does anyone want to pull any item? No? Is there a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Coop, seconded by Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez to approve the consent calendar. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Coops?
Aye.
Councilmember Morse?
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez?
Aye.
Councilmember Dutton?
Aye.
Mayor Santinas?
Aye. Council reports. Councilmember Coops.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Councilmember Morse.
Nothing to report.
Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez.
Great event last couple of days by Parks and Rec. Just want to say congratulations on the Bravo Awards, and then also on Arbor Day. Mr. Mayor, that was a well orchestrated event. Lots of people attended, and it was fun planting a tree with you and Councilmember Coops.
I hope it lives.
Yeah, we got dirty with those shovels and made that happen. So, and then I'd like to request that we adjourn in memory of Diane Johnson. Would you like me to read it now or later?
Yeah, no.
Now's the time.
Diane Johnson, also known to most of her friends and family as Grandma Johnson, was born on June 9th, 1929 in Willowbrook and passed away on March 5th, 2026 at age of 96. She lived in Compton before moving to Bellflower around 1956, where she remained for nearly 70 years. Diane was married to her husband for over 40 years until his passing from leukemia in 1990, and she never remarried, often saying she could never find a man as good as her Virgil. She raised her 3 daughters in Bellflower, where they all graduated from Bellflower High School, and in many ways, she became a mother figure to many others. At the age of 71, she made the remarkable decision to adopt her 5 grandsons, all under the age of 12, to keep them from being separated in the foster care system. She is survived by her 3 daughters, 10 grandchildren, and 12 great-grandchildren, as well as countless members of the community who knew and loved her. Diane was a familiar and beloved presence in the community, and often seen volunteering at Bellflower High School's volleyball games, attending local events, and enjoying her signature chai tea latte at the local Starbucks. Her smiles and laughter will be dearly missed, and her resilience and legacy of family and kindness will be remembered for years to come. Our deepest sympathies and heartfelt condolences go out to the entire Johnson and Windmiller family. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez. Just a couple of things I want to mention. On April 15, I was invited by the League of California Cities to testify on behalf of the city for the approval of AB 1708. Just briefly, AB 1708 is very restrictive. It provides assistance to cities, counties, and continuums of care. The only problem is it only allows cities with 300,000 population to apply for grants. So basically, Bellflower cannot apply for the grant. So this assembly bill will allow, if passed, will allow the city like Bellflower to apply for those grants for housing, homeless housing and assistance program. I understand that after the public hearing, it was voted by the Assembly Committee, which is the Housing Economic Development Committee, unanimously. 89 cities provided support for this bill, with only one opposition from the city of LA. And on April, as I'm going to piggyback on Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez's comment about Bravo, it was a wonderful event. Thank you, Kristen Smith and the Parks and Rec Department. For all the work you did. It showed it was a flawless event, well attended, and it was a great event. And also on April 22, we attended the Bellflower Entrepreneur Academy Program graduation with Mayor Pro Tem Sanchez. 20 participants graduated from this program. It's a wonderful event, and I'm glad that the city can support this particular program. So congratulations to the graduates. And on April 23rd, We also had a coffee with deputy at a Soulmate Coffee Shop. It was well attended, and lots of residents came and asked questions to our sheriff's captain. And again, it was a wonderful event. Okay, so with that, we will adjourn this meeting in memory of Diane Johnson to the next regular meeting of the Bellflower City Council at 5:30 p.m. on Monday, May 11, 2026. This meeting is now adjourned.